record start. And okay, that should in theory be centered. Cool.
Hey, welcome to FlavorText, everyone. Don't mind the Dungeon Master, Game Master on their phone, just posting a quick update to our Instagram saying that we're live.
No one would have ever known.
We're on time.
You're checking notes.
Yeah, I'm checking my notes. Yeah, look at that. We're on time. We're on time. It's 7 p.m. and we are live. Did we post in the Discord?
I will right now.
Cool, thank you. Check us out. Shonen Tournament.
You know there's space on the table for you to like be closer and thus in
On
camera.
camera?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mysterious this way. I lean up against this wall.
Oh, that's fair. Back support.
Yeah. It's very supportive.
Okay, I am good to go. We are good to go. We are back at New Dawn University. It is day 2 and test 3 of the in-school sports festival for our young prodigial heroes. I'm making a die roll behind the screen for one Isaac. The number is 15, and he can do with that information whatever he wishes to do with it. And we are beginning... Man, that would be a heck of a day.
It would've.
Yeah.
I almost want it to happen.
Me
Be
too.
like, where is he?
Would have pushed the narrative.
It definitely would have been a unique
my backup
narrative.
character out. Apparently I'm fighting with this guy.
Isaac dies.
He just skips the sports festival.
Yeah, it's Isaac's sporadic truancy. That's all I'm rolling for.
He just takes a me day, goes down to the spa, gets his nails done.
Every day is Isaac is a me day. And so we are back. The heroes, where we last left them, got their brackets. They know who they're up against. And they just finished a faux villain's lair scenario where one of the teachers, Adelheid, also known as the Widow, when she was in her villain persona, but just...
Arachne?
I thought she was Arachne.
Yeah.
Arachne in her villain persona, and the Widow as her normal name then, because I don't think we've dropped her hero name yet, have
No.
we?
No.
Cool, so the Widow.
We have 2 names for her, I think. Adelheid and Ettercap.
Ettercap. Yep, Ettercap's her name, right. Named after a mushroom, even though she's a drider.
Yeah, she's a drider.
It's because her poison's really gnarly. No one got hit by it, but her poison's really gnarly.
I did,
Yeah.
but I
But
ate
You're
it.
immune to it. Yeah.
But you just don't care.
Your body was like, yum, calories.
I can use these.
And so we are picking up as the students are ushered in together, unless there's anything you want to do in the morning before the actual festivities start.
Eat breakfast.
Good job. Rin is the only one who eats breakfast and everyone else is fatigued. I'm joking.
The fortune cookie I didn't eat was right.
I snapped it open and didn't eat the cookie.
But the fortune told me without breakfast you'll be fatigued tomorrow. Really on the nose. It told me hindered except after an hour of rest. Because that's what fatigue does.
Didn't need the calories, goes right to your hips.
So anyways, no one had any particular morning interactions because of the die roll being what it was. And so we make our way, as all of the students in costumes are ushered properly into this big holding area. And you can see from here, there's a single monitor set up to display each bracket. None of the brackets are going to run concurrently so that there's no overlap. Like, no one is forced to watch between 2 matches. But there are a total of 11 brackets set up. You guys are all in one bracket. You've seen the full bracket already. And you know your first combatants, as it were. And it's a very simple scenario. There's not a lot of bravado about it, other than as everyone is ushered in examining the situation, you just hear, "Hello, everybody, and welcome to the final day. Welcome to the final test. Welcome to the Rumble."
Ooh.
And, like, then you get this moment as the lights in the room kind of flicker and cascade. They break. And they begin, like, moving around the room in those concentric circles, creating this, like, you know, roving light display as
Space
they
Jam.
overlap. Yeah. And, like, everyone's kind of like, why is it so much? And then you remember that Duplex is a staff member here. As she drops from the ceiling.
I love her.
How many times?
8.
Yeah.
8 duplexes drop from the
I
ceiling,
love it.
holding hands like an aerobics team as they're falling. and 7 of them poof on landing.
Mm-hmm.
The 8th one landing in a very traditional, like, her go-to wrestling pose, which is very, like, here. And she's like, so I'm going to be one of your 2 announcers for all of these events, and I will be joined by the ever so lovely, ever so charming, and ever so bald.
Librarian.
Isaac?
And then Megaphone makes his appearance.
Megaphone is bald?
Yes, he's bald and has a Fu Manchu.
That's right! I forgot about that!
I never knew that.
He's like a black southern gentleman with a Fu Manchu who's bald.
I imagine him with like a do you know that Dating the Colonel game? I imagine him having like the Colonel's hair from that.
No, it's a very clean bald.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I respect it nonetheless.
Yeah. Yeah, that's who he's been the whole time.
Less noise muffling.
And all of the students are proper in their costumes now, and everyone is familiar with other hero names, but not every hero name was announced, and like as the room is kind of settling in the tension and the stadium is revealed to you on one of the monitors. It's a very traditional shonen stadium. It is white tiles in a perfect square, and they begin explaining the rules.
Dax is so ready for this.
He's been studying his whole life for this moment.
This is very traditional. A lot of martial arts tournaments used to be held in these, and one of the win conditions in those was a ring out. However, a good third of the student body moves in 3 dimensions, and so a ring out isn't exactly how you're going to beat them. That's also not how you stop a superpowered opponent. Knocking them out of a ring really doesn't prevent anything.
Mm-hmm.
I'm worried.
So all of these matches will be until one person surrenders, which you do either verbally by yelling, "I surrender," and then 2 duplexes appear, with one in a chokehold and the other one being like, "I surrender!" And then the one tightens its chokehold. Or by tapping out, and that chokehold gets turned into like an elbow drop onto the floor, and the duplex who's being choked starts tapping out. Very simple, very straightforward. Now, there are a couple of you students here who have powers that can manipulate other people's movements. That doesn't count. You cannot force your opponent to tap out,
Hey.
be it by any mental manipulation or physical manipulation.
Grabbing someone's head and being like, "You tap out!"
Panacea will be working very hard today, so please treat her very kindly. All of that being said, the brackets are up. The crowd is waiting, and then the monitor that's displaying this traditional ring, like, the lights expand, and you see a stadium crowd full of everyone's parents, as well as a police barricade around, like, the inner circle, so that police are between the action and the crowd. The crowd itself is protected with this thin barrier, and that thin barrier is decorated with these, like, technological crosses every so often that you recognize very similarly as the force field surrounding the school.
Okay. Respect. That's good. That's smart. I like it.
So, right now, the force field around the school is a donut. Yay!
You brought food.
I brought a donut. Just one, though. We have to share.
It's a very big donut.
It's a
though,
very
so it's
big
okay.
donut.
We'll manage.
It's more like a bundt cake.
Is there a physical representation of tournament brackets?
Would you like it?
I would like to make one.
Could
So
someone please get, you'd like to make one? Okay. Yeah, I can tell you what your bracket looks like.
so that we can set up and have actual, because this is going to be so satisfying.
Okay.
Groups of how many?
There's 16 of us total.
There's 16 in the bracket.
Okay, so
Duos
it is,
all dueling.
oh, it is everyone. Okay, so we will have the chance to fight each other.
Yep.
Provided we make it that far. I'm very
Yep.
nervous.
A little bit.
6, 7.
Little bit.
My perfect counter.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Okay. And then the pairings are as follows. Robin versus Fia. Let's use hero names.
Hell yes.
Both.
I'll add them.
Okay. Ryan versus Rita.
Okay.
Lenny versus Kyrie.
Rin, for God's sake, your bracelet.
Rin versus Terrence.
Okay.
There he is.
Isaac versus Miko.
Okay.
Kurt versus Rex.
Okay.
Ares versus Jareth. Allie versus Ramona.
Okay.
And let me make sure, can I see the physical representation once you're done with it? Just to make sure that looks correct.
And I'll start adding names as I know them and ask about those that I
I
don't.
should have 1, 2, yep, 3, yep, 4. Okay, cool. I just had to make sure that worked out.
So the only way that we can fight each other is in semifinals.
Semis and semifinals and finals, because PvP is mostly discouraged at my table, but this is an arc where it cannot be avoided.
Mm-hmm.
If Mama can't be up there, neither can you.
What was Rita's?
Rita's.
Hero name.
Oh, I sent it to you in a message, Dax. I've got it on my phone though, so I'm pulling that up right now. Rita settled on Meteor Shower.
Cool.
Solid.
Okay. Was uppercut.
Uppercut.
Terrence was
Yep.
whiteout.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I do not have his.
Aries was red.
Red
Baron.
Baron.
Red Baron.
Yeah, no, not all of these hero
Snoopy.
names were announced prior.
Gauss.
Dax has some of them in advance because he is doing the art for it.
Angel.
Angel. Rex was SoundCloud.
Mm-hmm.
He's so dumb. I love him.
Kurt is himself.
Yep. Kurt.
I need Lenny's.
Lenny goes by Punchline.
I love her.
Nice.
Kyrie was Shutter.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Spelled with
Then-
D's or T's, it's still correct.
Okay. Miko.
Miko is Natural Remedy.
The only one that I'm missing, I think, is
Ramona's
Ramona.
last.
Ramona is the host.
I hate it.
That poor girl.
I hate it. 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 I hate it.
No, thank you.
Let's roll for initiative to see which brackets we handle first.
I'm gonna see if you like me.
25.
That's 21.
Okay, you like me well enough.
I got 14.
I got an 18.
I think this is the first time I've gone last.
Yep, so we're going to be handling Allie, then Isaac, then...
No, Isaac got a 25.
My bad. Isaac, then Allie, then Robin, then Rin. Did we want to do any sort of investigating before the combats begin, or did we want to just...
I want to know Terrence's weaknesses.
No investigating, but I do want to find Ramona.
Yeah, absolutely. So Ramona is dressed in her costume now. She wasn't yesterday because reasons. There's actual reasons.
Okay.
But today she has finalized her costume design. She's wearing... it's easy to find her by the dark bubble around her, but it is less than it has ever been. It is relatively contained, and you actually see her through it at a glance. Like, her light permeates the darkness now. At least in her current form. And it's the only way you recognize her, because her hair is bunned up. She's wearing a featureless white mask behind a veil and dressed in a kimono of purple and red and hues reminiscent of blood.
Ramona, you're so fucking cool.
she is.
She is so fucking cool. Oh my god. I'm just
The
gonna stand
host.
here and think she's really cool for a second. Ramona?
And it's so creepy as just... Yes?
Just so I don't accidentally say it out there, I want to say I'm sorry now because, I'm still in the habit of it. Because either I hit you and I hurt you and I still don't like doing that, so I'm sorry, or I don't, and in which case it's not like a good fight and that's not worthy of you, so I'm sorry for that. So just generally sorry in advance.
I'm sorry too.
Wholesome.
Cute.
You look really cool.
Thanks, so do you. This will be a fun rematch.
Yeah.
Friendship. Ship the friends. Ship the friends. Ship.
That's it. That's all I got.
Cool. Anyone else?
Robin would like to go up to Jareth.
So I've described Jared's outfit, but we're on stream, so I'll describe it again. It's his traditional... Oh yeah, you can pull up the picture.
You've got a picture.
Yeah, a picture of quite a few of our students. Jareth in his...
Red Baron
and Fia.
and Pia.
Looking like a
Fucking
badass.
awesome.
Yeah, Fia's amazing. Fia's amazing. So Jareth is in the picture that is currently on screen. The front view, it's his like black gray muscle shirt he's always had. Suspenders over that, but the suspenders are underneath a blacksmith's apron, He's got a glove on either hand and this black, like this welder's mask worn very much on the top of his head. And the apron simply has a solid G on it in what appears to be like almost like fine metal dust up on the front there.
Nice.
Which is not visible there, which is why I'm describing it now.
First I've heard of it.
I didn't want to describe it because it like I don't know. I saw the outline you did of the action shot and I was like, okay. Either way, that's Gauss.
And then that is for the 3 that...
Yeah, so here we have Whiteout, SoundCloud, and Forget Me Not.
Who?
I love you,
Find
and
a
I
way to
hate
kick you under the table.
Ryan is Forget Me Not in the back there. Whiteout and SoundCloud are the Friedman brothers, the older one in the back and the younger in the front.
And then Party.
And then we have our season 2 party. Angel is the one with the beautiful stained glass wing. Isaac, what's your hair on?
G-Force.
G-Force is upside down right there. In the front, I believe we have Uppercut, and behind Uppercut we have Gravitas. And up at the very top we have Eyes.
That's my favorite superhero.
Yeah.
Everyone,
very
we're
Cheshire
saved.
Cat.
It's Eyes.
The eyes have it.
It's Eyes. So did anyone else have any pregame? You wanted to go up to Gauss.
Yes. Hey,
Hello?
you're gonna be great.
Oh, that's a much more positive outlook than last time.
I mean, I knew it before, but I was,
You were trying, I know.
yeah.
We grow, we learn. Don't do that shit again. I'll punch you in the face.
I was not planning on it.
I'm hoping you make it to the finals
Me too.
so that I can punch you in the face.
You're welcome to try.
Whether I'll punch you or not is a matter of your successes, not mine.
Whether it hurts or not is a question of my successes.
You want it to hurt?
Again,
He
you're
cracks
welcome to
his
try.
knuckles. Good luck. And he just
Me
gives
too.
you a friendly punch on the arm.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Rin gives fist bumps.
Just that. And that one smarts a little. Anyone else?
Can I speak with Rita?
Yes, you can speak with Rita.
Yeah.
So Rita's costume. Dax hasn't gotten this description yet because this is the last group I have to send him, but I have it. Night sky blues and blacks are woven into a celestial tapestry around her. She's in a very classical cape and mask duo. Her mask is reminiscent of night wings and dotted with constellations. The cape clasps around her neckline in a crescent moon and goes down to about her midriff.
She's so cool.
She's so swishy.
There's a similarity to the way Gravitas looks and the way she looks, but this is absolutely styled after lunar eclipse. Whereas yours is like the cosmos because gravity and physics manipulation. Hers is I generate crescents.
Ta-da!
It's either this or rolls.
They were all like croissant costumes. Those are for Higa.
How you doing?
Incredibly. Now,
You're doing incredibly. All right.
you have to make me a promise.
Okay.
You have to make it to the semifinals too, so everyone can see who the best Himura is.
I mean, they don't really know that I'm a Homura too publicly.
Oh, but I do.
Yeah. So,
And I'm sure he does.
are you though?
He's going to be.
Don't know what that means.
Good luck in your matches.
Yeah, you too.
Knock the snot out of Robin for me.
Oh, that's the plan. Anything from Isaac?
It's go time.
All right. So up first we have Isaac versus Miko. You're escorted into the ring. You're not the first bracket of the day. You guys get to see a couple of other students fight. But this is
Who
this
wins?
bracket is Class 1A plus our two most popular Class 1 Bers.
Do we get to see Predictable?
Yes.
Yes! Does Predictable win?
No,
The
we
first
talked
match?
about it last.
Predictable did a match!
Oh, the first match?
Yeah, he wins his first match.
1-0!
Because-
The rest don't
'cause-
count.
So Predictable goes into it, and he just takes a breath, and his opponent doesn't matter really, but his opponent comes running at him, and Predictable has had the great idea not to moo until he needs it, And so he actually goes into like hand-to-hand combat. And one of the things people forget is he has the strength of a bull.
Yeah.
So he lands this sucker punch on the guy, and then just begins mooing from that point on, and begins bobbing it and weaving it in these perfect sequences, moving around his opponent's power and combat prowess. And eventually, Predictable gets him lifted up, like not gored, but lifted up on this thing, and then just sort of does this like head movement that thrashes him against his horns a couple times before mooing one final time, and with this final exhalation, the steam coming out of his nostrils just into the sky.
Good luck tapping out up there, bitch.
And then turns, plants his arms, lifts his back legs up, and bucks. He loses the second match terribly because it's against the Pale Rider.
Yes, my child.
He begins to predict the future, and he sees the future with his worst fear in it, because that is her power, is to manifest your worst fear. And he is terrified without her ever having to actually use her power.
Yeah, and the worst part is, as soon as she knows your worst fear, she knows it. So, like, she probably has a good profile on a lot of students.
Very much.
Oh, she's cheating is basically what she's doing.
It's a pretty gnarly power.
Yep.
But that's the only other student you asked about was
I had to know.
Predictable.
He knew, but I didn't.
No, he only knows in 6-second intervals.
Hey, he's probably up to 12 by now.
No, he's not. He just has better lungs. He can move for longer.
Damn.
He can hold those 6 seconds for many 6
Oh no,
seconds.
he has like the best lungs on campus.
I'm sure.
He has to continue to moo while fighting, which is such a dumb thing to say. This side character is becoming somewhat legitimate.
I love him.
So happy.
So Isaac, you and Natural Remedy, I'm sorry, I'll start using hero names for this event. So G-Force and Natural Remedy are led into the arena, opposite sides of the arena. It's 120 by 120. Ring outs do not count. This is, like I said, either someone goes unconscious or taps out. And so Natural Remedy, their outfit we've seen before, but just a recap, it is very much groundskeeper's attire, with these very fine gloves, a very like hair done up in that traditional messy bun that we see from a lot of groundskeepers, face a little smudged with dirt, but the dirt is only really visible around the outsides, as Miko is still wearing that gas mask from the other day. A bandolier of different vials across their chest, the only thing that a groundskeeper wouldn't have, and hands kind of like that very cowboy style at the ready. And as you're entering the ring, you get some announcement.
Oh boy.
I almost wish yours hadn't been first, if only for the setup.
I can.
No.
Nope. You won the initiative. We're going now.
You are not allowed to concede initiative every time.
It's only because there's a format for these introductions, and Isaacs breaks that format.
Because I have a theme song.
Yeah.
Not only that, but in one corner begins the illustrious and wonderful duplex. The plant with a plan, it's Natural Remedy. And, like, there's a couple people in the audience that cheer, but most people really don't know Miko.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They're very quiet.
Yeah, Miko had a chance, but, like, ran away from the fight.
He passed out.
They not only did they pass out,
They had a good reason.
Oh, yeah, they also could have been eaten. Never mind.
yeah, they could have been cannibalized by Mother Earth's power.
Never mind. I remembered why they left.
Yep. Followed by, and he certainly needs no introduction, and we've written none because we expect him to introduce himself. It's
Falling back to where I used to be. My name is Isaac Tono.
Rin from the stands like,
G-Force!
G-Force!
It doesn't matter. You'll know me by both. 10 years down the road, everyone's gonna know my name, so everyone should start now. Miko, quick question. Am I allowed to use your name? Back it up. Back it up.
Rewind that.
Back it up.
It sure is a good thing this is an edited event. I'm just gonna say that once. And no more than once.
At least as far as the edits are aware.
Yep. And go ahead. Your initiative was 25, so Miko's gonna roll against that. and get a 24.
Whoa, Miko, you were so close.
Yeah, nat
Close.
19.
They're ready for this.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they have very
Okay,
similar agility.
Isaac, you're 120 feet away, both in costume, and you have the first action of your bracket.
Mm-hmm. As my friend and as the hero natural remedy, give me the absolute best that you can do.
And you inspire Miko.
You
I'm not done.
dingus.
But yes, to be in character, I must.
Miko gets a +5 to their next performance, or to their next roll.
Because for the hopes and dreams of those that I carry with me, I'm going to show you the absolute best that I can do.
Alright.
And I'm going to go up in the air for a distance about another 100 feet up in the air as I take that standard action to buff my ally.
Mm-hmm.
And now I fall prone.
Yep, so you're up in the sky.
Flat backed against
You're
the top of
such-
the dome.
So-
I love it.
Miko, very casually, shoots you a thumbs up and just starts uncorking things. Puts one of them into, like, the insert of the mask.
Ooh, Miko, you're tight.
And then grabs another one, because they're not going to move this turn. And they just start, like, sprinkling this dust around themselves.
Miko superpower drugs.
Basically.
Mm-hmm.
Basically.
They
and
will
then
be party
that's
central later.
And then Miko just looks up at you.
Cool.
Yep.
I get back up.
Because you have to make the check.
Yep. And I am going to dive bomb and commit an agile feint.
Okay, so agile feint.
Resisted by either insight or acrobatics and has to beat a 24.
Okay, it was a successful insight check.
Oh, Miko, you're awesome.
I move by action to now be on the other side of him.
Them.
Them, thank you.
Okay. And still in the
Fall
air.
prone.
And still in the air.
Yes.
Miko nods, recognizes how this is going, and begins, like, unstrapping parts of their bandolier. And sits down and, like, sets out this leather, basically, mortar pestle bowl setup, and begins grinding herbs. and
Miko, you had time to do this at home.
And
Maybe
Miko
they didn't.
Miko also had a full bandolier of
Yeah,
things
Like,
ready.
but you know, just waiting.
Those the powder they spread clings to the air around them. It doesn't actually connect to their body. It sort of floats in this miasma surrounding their form as they continue to just grind this material.
Perception based. Get up. I don't.
You're prone in the
So I have
air.
to use a move action to get up.
Yep.
And I'm going to do a dive bomb proper slam attack
Sure.
and just see how it works.
Yep. This is versus
So-
their parry.
It is a 20 to hit.
20. Where'd you go? Does exceed their parry.
Okay.
God, I hope so.
It is since I got a chance to move first, it is a damage rank 4.
They're going to succeed on. No, they're going to suffer 1 wound.
Okay.
And what was that roll?
That was a grab attempt, which was a 10, resisted by strength.
They
or
overcome
dodge.
the grab.
Cool. And I to the other side again.
Do you have 2 move actions?
It's a move by. Meow.
You used your first move action to remove prone.
And then charge attack.
It's you can move by in the middle of it, so I can commit my standard in the middle of a move action.
But you
mean,
didn't have a move action to
didn't
give
have-
is what's happening.
Slam attacks, you do move, like you move as a part of it.
I'm just gonna double check this.
You are allowed to move up to your speed.
Just double checking. I trust it, but that sounds like 2 move actions and a standard, which is the only reason I'm caught up on it.
Do I have everyone's hero names? I've got Lenny's. I've got Harry's. Card doesn't have one. I've got Ramona's. I've got Rex's. I've got Ryan's. I've got Rita's. Radical.
Nice.
You have to start setting up the deck for Class 1B.
Nah.
Doesn't matter as much.
194.
One is a plant and one makes croissants.
Croissants.
I thought 2 of them made croissants.
I need to go to page 194, close the find. Sorry about this little delay. This is
Okay.
just because this tournament is technical stuff. I'm going to take the time for technicalities today.
Yeah.
What are the people doing in the stands?
Right
Yelling.
now, they're kind of like confused as to what's happening in this fight at the end of the day.
Ren is screaming.
Yeah, charge is a standard action. So charge is movement and an attack in a standard. You have your speed rank and a mode of movement available to you in a relatively straight line towards your target. At the end of your movement, you can perform a close but you have moved by attack, so you can do it at any point. And do note that slams are at a -2 to hit.
Yes, that's accounted for in the
Cool.
stats.
Cool.
Yep.
So as you go for this, you did make contact, so I do need you to make a fortitude save.
Yep.
As a reaction-based effect from the spores.
18.
So you succeed on your fortitude save. So I'm not going to tell you what you succeeded against, but you feel those spores try and cling to you. Miko, having been struck as you weave through, fixes the gas mask on their face, finishes what's in their hands, like in this little bowl, just stands up, and at this point undoes this little gasket on this side of the gas mask, and the thing that was filtering through here now begins emanating this proper gas around them. As there's these spores clinging nearly to them in this sort of goldish yellow color, and this gas emanating from the mask slowly just seeping into the area around them. It's about 20 feet of gas just in this first standard action. And they simply wave at you.
Makes sense. My turn again?
Yep.
Okay. We are going to hold our breath, charge in. I'm assuming that the cloud is everywhere, and if I go close to the ground, it's not going to matter?
Yeah.
Cool. I'm going to trip him.
Cool. So them, first of all.
Them,
And
thank
then
you.
secondary, as you get close, their held action goes off. So this is going to be versus your dodge, and they're going to miss as the mortar and pestle that this thing they ground up, this paste, they try and lob it at you as you come in, but you dodge that easily, holding your breath. And
Spores.
Yep.
Spores.
So fortitude against the spores.
15.
15 does not succeed against the spores, so you are going to be, that is 1 degree of failure. So you are going to be, just 1 rank is impaired.
Okay. So -2 to everything. Cool. Okay. Then I'm going to apply the accurate modifier to my trip attempt.
Sure.
It is a 20 to hit parry.
20 does hit their parry.
Okay. And with the improved trip advantage, I can choose which defense they use, and I'm going to choose acrobatics because if they do not have a rank in it, that means they can't make a check against it.
Yeah.
So if they have a rank in acrobatics?
Nope. So they're tripped.
I put them on the ground.
So tripped is prone, correct?
Prone. Yep.
Okay.
And now I extra effort into a slam attack while they're on the ground.
Okay. This will fatigue you if you don't have a hero point to spend.
Cool. I will be fatigued.
Okay.
This is at a plus 13 with the bonus, unless so that is a 16 total.
And that is versus their parry.
Mm-hmm.
They rolled a 2 on their parry, so that's a hit.
Okay. That would.
Why did I roll? Yeah.
I was gonna say.
I was like, what's happening?
16 hits. Absolutely. I'm so sorry.
How many degrees?
1.
Yeah, makes sense. 3 DC 18 toughness check.
Nat 18. So fine on that.
And 17 grab attempt that is resisted by strength or dodge.
You do have them grabbed.
Okay, how many degrees?
2.
2. Okay, they're defenseless.
They are prone and defenseless.
Prone and defenseless, and move object cues up,
Mm-hmm.
which is a nat 1.
Oof. But you have them in a grapple.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know any rules for holding your breath.
10 rounds for free.
10 rounds for free. Cool, thank you. I imagined that you looked that up, knowing you were going against Miko.
Well, now he can't breathe either. They.
Nay.
Yep.
Dang it.
You're good. No, they're in a gas mask.
No, they're in a chokehold. That's what they're in.
Oh, okay.
The advantage of chokehold means anytime I can get a grab, I can apply a chokehold, and they have to also start suffocating.
Cool. Please let me know instead of just assuming that I know you have chokehold.
I texted it to you. It was the 2 advantages that I picked up that you asked for.
I don't remember getting that text, but it probably got lost in things. Just remind me when new things come up.
Okay.
Thank you for having sent it to me. That's my bad for not remembering. And so they can't breathe. They're suffocating. What are the rules for suffocation?
10 rounds for free.
10 rounds for free. All right. 9 to go. And they... So chokehold?
I won't flavor all of the stuff as far as how it works, but
I
basically...
specifically need to know where you are in relation to their body.
Okay. So, do you want them falling face first or back first?
Because you guys are theoretically going up, right?
We're on the ground now because the move action didn't work.
How would you start a chokehold with Miko?
Gi choke. If there's a costume, it'll be pulling the collar against one side of their throat to be able to instigate cutting off of the jugular vein.
Where are you in relation to their body?
I'm touching them.
Are you in front of or behind them?
So we're not... I asked you front or back. Does it matter?
It matters for their power.
Okay. Face down is going to be a better immobilization technique.
They are face down?
They are face down.
Okay.
Because their back is full of plants.
Yep. Go ahead, and your parry is capped out, I think.
It's a lot.
Is this considered a close attack?
Yep.
It is at a -7 due to being prone and impaired.
It is not them making it.
Are the plants also not prone?
The plants are on their back.
Okay.
The plants are usually prone.
The plants have to hit a 21, right? Your parry's 11. So the plants do hit. I do need a toughness check.
Ooh.
As every plant on their back is basically a cactus.
17.
So you are going to suffer 0 wounds as that 17 is enough to tough out as basically all of the plants in their back kind of like start to grow and try and skewer you, and barb you. It's a mix of cactuses and those really like sharp, like dry grasses, and that's all that's on their back. Because this is the one match they were most worried about.
Understandably.
And then it's your turn as that is all Miko can do. Miko is expending their turn to aid their plants.
Okay. Thank you. Trying to escape is a move action. They can make a acrobatics or athletics check to beat a DC 20 to escape the grapple.
They're not going to try to.
Okay.
You have, like, you are theoretically in the best place for them in this fight. You are in the middle of the mist and the spores and literally on top of their weapon.
Okay.
This is the best theoretical opportunity they have because they know it's going down.
That's fair.
Okay. Okay. Back to the turn. Then I'm going to, basically, since I have body parts free, I can make an attack against a defenseless and prone opponent. Thus, I'm going to make. Can I apply power attack to slam, given that slam does not use strength damage, to be able to increase effect? Okay.
No, because slam already breaks power level damage thresholds,
Okay.
and you cannot power attack past those.
Okay. Cool. So I will be making a slam attack, and it is going to be at a +15, given that it's a prone opponent.
Super easy to hit.
20 and automatically crits.
You rolled nat 20?
No, it's just that if it's a defenseless opponent, if you beat a DC 10, it automatically scores a crit.
Yep.
Which I would like to, instead of just increasing the toughness check, do a power stunt for free, I think it is, and introduce this as a weaken effect.
Weaken to what stat?
I'll ask, basically what I want to do is flavor it as flipping him over and grinding his back.
Okay.
God dang it.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Against the ground to be able to get all of those plants off. And
Okay. So I'm gonna consider it a weaken fighting. Yeah.
Okay. So that will be, the damage is still just a 3.
So DC 18.
DC 13.
13.
Because it's infliction.
He said damage.
Multiply.
The damage would be 18 and the affliction would be 13.
Multi-attack, given that was a DC 10, would have 2 degrees of success, so it would be a +5 to the toughness check. So that is a total of a DC 23
Toughness check.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. 2 degrees of failure, so they suffer another wound and are dazed.
Okay, and then the affliction will be the...
If you crit, isn't a power stunt instead of damage?
Good question.
Yes.
Yes.
It is power stunt
It is.
instead of damage. So instead, Miko would be making most likely a fortitude save in this situation.
Okay, against the same DC. Okay, so it would be...
Okay, so
And the DC would be 5
so
lower?
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. So,
So-
it is power stunt or
Yes.
damage.
Okay.
I'm sorry, I misunderstood that.
No worries. So that would be...
DC
DC 18?
18, I believe.
So it's your choice. Would you like to do the damage or go for the power stunt?
We already talked about the power stunt. We're doing the power stunt because I want a surfboard.
Okay,
This
it's the
person.
DC. It's DC what?
18.
Fortitude save.
I'm gonna for it.
They're gonna still fail that by 1 degree.
Since this
points.
is weakened, it depends on how many numbers.
So,
How many less than
3.
18. So 3 fighting is deducted.
Nice.
Which is actually the most that Isaac can take off. because you only have a damage rank of 3, which means you can only get to a weaken rank of 3.
Oh.
And you can only get up to your weaken rank in lowered stats.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
Because I thought that, but didn't think it through. Grab has already happened, so that does not need to.
Then you will need to make a save against the spores. 43 DC.
16.
That is still a success.
Nice.
And then move action. I can use a move
Oof.
action to attempt to drag.
Yep.
And I'm going to attempt to drag this person up. It is a contested strength check. We are both impaired.
What was your total?
My total is 9.
Okay, I rolled a nat 15, so I think even with the penalties, because you said you're both impaired,
Mm-hmm.
and then you penalized fighting, not strength.
Yes.
So yeah, you don't manage to drag them, right? Because that was
The additional attempt of doing the power slam does not happen on this turn.
Okay.
It is just the drag across the ground to be able to remove
surfboarding them. Yeah.
to be able to try to remove the plants from the back.
Okay. So that now puts you on top of them. You said surfboarding them. Oh, gnarly! It's like a leg grapple surfboard. It's really, I can see it in my head, and it just looks painful. So Miko is going to go ahead and go for this last scramble effort. They're just gonna grab at whatever they can on their on their bandolier and start smashing it into your face. This is a randomized power they have,
I love it. I love everything about that.
where it has it's got variable outcomes. First, it is against your parry.
They're at a -7 for being prone and
Yep.
impaired.
Yep, I know. And then a -3 fighting.
No, their back is at a -3 fighting.
Yeah, the plants. No, it does matter. They're -7. They're not going to hit you at a -7. I don't think they possibly could.
Unless they roll a 20.
Yeah, but they're grabbing these and they're smashing them, but it's unfortunately not on open parts of your body. So these little cuts aren't getting through your costume, and the liquids and gases in these containers are not able to enter your system effectively. The spores are falling off of Miko as you continue to drag them and damage the plants on their back. The spores, they weren't clinging to them in particular, they're just kind of heavy in the air, and you've moved them out of that area, so the spores are no longer going to be affecting you. The gas they began spreading, they didn't have enough time to set another one in, and they don't have the ability to do that, and so effectively you have neutralized a lot of what Miko is capable of. Yep.
Come on.
They did their best.
Yep.
Of course.
Taking too long to load?
No, just froze. Just straight up froze.
We'll take a second to address that.
They gives me time to pee.
Yeah, and on the way back, would you mind getting me more water?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, there's also type.
Nope, not available anymore. I wonder why.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Dax. Are you connected to our Wi-Fi?
Yeah, but it's not something that it's not as though this hasn't happened before.
True.
It's more so. Is it more so the app loading?
The app was already open. I
Yeah.
left it open, so I
Yeah.
didn't have to open it. And so when it just loaded up, it was like, no, we're just not going to respond. Just try pushing buttons.
I'm so sorry.
It happens.
It is unfortunate though, and I'm still sorry for it.
I appreciate your support.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But no, this fight theoretically, I was like, well, all of Miko's stuff goes against stats that really usually aren't parry or reflex, and this fight in my head was absolutely up in the air. It was like, can Isaac get the advantage quick enough? Because the more defensive Miko could set up, the more they would have.
Yeah.
That's absolutely their game.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not over yet. We're still waiting on them to get back. But it is your turn.
Should we start rolling things?
Absolutely.
I'm going to hit him again.
Hey!
Them.
Hey.
God dang.
That's okay.
The best solution is usually to knock them out.
Yes.
Yep.
Just hit them a lot.
As they have 6
Yeah,
more
I have
turns
one
of suffocation.
Fridge or sink?
Sink, please.
Once again, because we have to declare these before we do it,
Yep.
Using slam attack rules, it is targeting a defenseless and prone opponent.
Yep, their active defense is considered 0.
Yep. Thus, they just have to beat a DC 5 with
Yep.
a modifier 15.
Yep.
So don't roll a 1.
So that's 18, which I believe was 1 degree of success, which means a +2 toughness check. Toughness check DC 20.
They nat 1, so that's it.
Cool.
How do you incapacitate me?
It's the surfboard.
Mhm.
The surfboard goes down, and it's basically the gravitational axis shifts to drag across a very steep roof, scraping all of the stuff from the back, and then hitting like a dive roll, and like a monkey flip at the end. So hitting a dive roll and grabbing their shoulders, getting feet up towards their torso, and rolling up onto Isaac's back as he kicks him up into the air and off. And then kit back up, which is a success.
It matters for style.
And then pose.
And you
Pose as in the body.
So just so you're aware of Miko's landing, Miko has a reaction-based power once they drop unconscious, and I'm just delaying this flavor as they're about to hit the ground, and you watch as the plants on their body, like what the little stubble that's left, they've trained themselves basically to have this threshold, this breaking point, not holding back. Don't worry. But basically,
They lose their fucking
they're
mind!
unconscious, but their body is ultimately just energy for the garden on their back. It always has been. And so the garden just skewers into the ground so that they don't crash into the earth and break their spine. Miko, normally you've seen Miko do this in the previous Act 1 of the tournament, where you had the crisis aversion, and they basically drained what was left of their body to produce enough medicine for everyone. This is Miko's defensive version of that, as they protect their body by basically eating their body.
Respect.
But like that can be recovered with calories.
20%
and rest.
less body is much better than a broken spinal column.
Yep. Yep. But Miko is absolutely unconscious, and just for that last bit of flavor, the gas mask just kind of shifts off their face a little bit to like show that unconscious form. So there's no question about it. And
Did they get a 10 count?
no,
Duplex.
They out.
Duplex is absolutely counting down, but it's very obvious to everyone that Isaac has just ruined this first fight in the best way. Like, ruined Miko. as
Very
it was.
solidly won.
Court, did you get me more water?
I did not.
Thank you.
I set the cup down and walked away.
I did. And do you have any words to the audience at the end of this first match? You could potentially get a hero point depending on your performance here.
Keep your eyes on me.
I like keep your eyes on me. I like it. Do you remember that you are still fatigued for the rest of the combats?
Oh, okay.
It's until you get an hour of rest, and you have fatigued yourself through a hero point usage.
Okay.
Through the extra effort.
Yeah.
Okay.
And not having a hero point. So
You can cure that once.
yeah, you can cure that if you'd like. But that's gonna move us next to to Angel versus the host.
Oh, that sounds like a comic book matchup.
It
Oh no,
does.
you're about to get one of the favorite like opening narrations I wrote.
I'm so scared, and I'm not even fighting yet.
I'm worried.
Lather some lotion on.
Cool. I'm gonna wait for everyone to get back to the table before I continue.
Sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
I don't know.
We said the apologies before this fight for a reason.
You're the one person who hasn't gotten up, and you're apologizing that other people are up and that I'm waiting patiently because I want them to be a part of the story?
I'm sorry, my knuckles are cracking.
How dare you be my friend and I'm waiting for you? You have nothing to apologize for, guys. God damn.
I'm apologizing for inconvenient timing. Please move on with the narrative.
You have nothing to apologize for. I'm sorry you couldn't see this live, folks. We've got the two sweethearts of this school ready to duke it out. The girl straight from heaven, Angel, here to get your blood pumping. Across from her, the embodiment of darkness itself, with a whole host of tricks. Did I call her the host?
You did.
It's the vessel! The vessel is her intentional
Still
name.
not good.
Yep.
You're a
And-
person, Ramona. You're a person.
You won initiative. You already rolled, and she rolled a 3. And the darkness around her still emanates about 10 feet, but you can see her through it.
Oh,
kind
yes,
of
I
like-
can.
Oh, especially because there's a live audience.
Yep.
Oh my god, she's probably like a fucking sunbeam right now.
She's managing to keep it in.
Ramona, I love you!
But no, I can see through
She's
everything
so
now.
So
so
even
proud of
even
you.
without your infrared, I'm telling you, visually, everyone can see Ramona, and they can see like the faint outline of her, but her mask is just a beam of light. Like the mask has this ridiculous amount of
She's like a lighthouse.
yeah, she's kind of like a lighthouse in the dark. And she just tilts her head curiously as the match begins, and you have the first action.
Well, I'm gonna fly straight up.
Cool, what's your flight?
A bunch.
How high are you flying is what I'm asking.
I'm going to keep it to 100 feet.
100. Cool.
100, just like at the moment.
Yep.
Because I want to be within range of cameras, and I'm going to use my standard.
I'm going to tell you that
aim.
everything is in range of the cameras.
This is 22 something.
This is true. This is
It's 20.
future.
It's 2120 or something
But
like
if
that.
we're starting the like 120 feet apart,
Yep.
I'm essentially just making an angle.
Yep.
So I'm more or less in the center and within range and bullshit.
Still within range and in the air. Yep.
And I'm going to add the favorite environment to my defense, so it's a plus 2
Sure.
to my defenses at the moment.
Noted.
I'm going to use my standard to take aim on her, so that way
Cool.
I can
That's removing your standard.
remove my standard.
Okay. And we're going to shift. Yep. We're going to shift to her first action. The vessel's first action. And she, like, with that head still tilted, just begins walking towards you.
Fucking unnerving.
Well
fucking done. It's so fucking unnerving.
She knows what she is.
Just no respect
to a lot of people. And she's going to get under you. And then she's going to reach up. And you watch as the darkness.
I believe in a thing called love.
It's not fast. But if you do not move, this will reach you in a turn. As this darkness around her is extending, and the more darkness goes up, the dimmer her mask gets.
Happy thoughts, think. Happy thoughts, think. Happy thoughts, think. Happy thoughts.
It's your action.
I'm going to just preemptively move a little bit.
How much is a little bit? 'Cause this is one of her delayed attacks.
My visual is that if she is under me and I'm above, it's a dip down. Not quite that low.
How high off the ground are you now?
I want to say 80. It's enough to like turn out of the way.
And how far are you from this axis?
If I'm 80 up, I'm.
You can pick any number.
I'm 100 over and I'm 80 feet off the ground.
Cool.
There we are. That's
100 feet further from where you were.
Yes.
We did it.
Yep, that's all that matters. Because you have a flight rank high enough to just justify any of these numbers.
You can pick any point in the arena and get there in a turn.
This is true. Yes. You are not, in fact, wrong.
Cool.
And then...
You took aim.
And we're just going to go in bloody and disgusting, and I'm going to roll for an affliction.
Go for it.
What's the affliction again?
First she has to hit.
Yep.
What's 4 plus 17?
21.
21, does that hit her?
Plus
I'm pulling her up. Yeah, because take aim.
Because aim gives me 10, because I have improved aim.
21
And then I have a
21
plus
does
7
hit her.
to it. Thank
21 does hit her.
goodness.
Big aim.
DC 15.
She's going to succeed on that. Oof. As you go to pull this blood, and you feel a different hand holding it in.
Gross.
And, like, it moves to her turn. That hand collapses on where you were, and it becomes pitch black around that area. Like, even after the hand disappears, there's this lingering sphere of darkness. And Ramona's just going to take a moment. The vessel looks around, sees the crowd. It just takes off that mask.
Dun.
What?
It's like the Rock Lee weight.
It's not the Rock Lee weight. Everyone is kind of silent as you just hear this. As the mask simply falls. It doesn't appear to be hyper dense or durable. It was just the aesthetic. And underneath, like, Ramona's face is just shadow.
She actually has a bear face under there.
And then she begins to glow her entire body as all eyes are on her and she is more than aware. And she begins to just rock back and forth.
Baby,
No, she's using what she's got. She's gonna unleash fucking hell on me.
It's your turn.
She's unleashing fucking hell. Oh fucking K.
It's not poison.
It's
dehydrated
more fun.
citrus. What are you up to, Angel?
I'm feeling intense feelings.
I'm going
In my mouth
to
too.
I'm gonna try for a blast this time using the stuff I've got stored on me.
Mm-hmm.
If only because that has a
Roll to
higher
hit- roll to
DC,
hit or
so
dodge.
hopefully that matters. That's only a 15. No, 16.
Hey.
Being in the air, does that help?
No,
The-
she's
No,
she's-
because I'm
she's
putting
assigned
on
to
my
defense
defense.
until she
She
says
doesn't
otherwise.
want to get hit, which
Yep.
I respect.
Not yet.
The 16 is actually going to tie over the dodge, but I believe ties go to attackers in this one.
It's a DC 20.
Toughness?
Yes.
She's fine. As
Ramona.
this blast of blood comes at her, and it just strikes her in the face. It just... Nah, because it didn't do damage. So it strikes her in the face.
You water ballooned her.
It was going for the chest, and it's almost like she kind of staggered in the way of it and took it to the face. And now the only thing you can see on that face is that blood stain.
She is so cool. This is freaky and I love it.
And
Oh, and I didn't move. I'm screwed.
would you like to move?
You just hit her with the standard.
Yes, I'm just gonna you go another 180 degrees, just around. I'm gonna stay 80 feet up, but just move another 100 feet. We're just gonna keep going in a circle,
Okay.
staying out of the way of
Okay.
hopefully where it was.
We should get you moved by attack at some point.
Probably.
Just, I imagine there's stuff you can build with it. I imagine eventually you're going to want some physical-based powers.
Probably.
But we'll see. We'll see. As on her turn, basically, she succumbs. She's choosing to fail this will save.
Mm-hmm.
And she begins to just hover in this pillar of light.
Rapture.
And the darkness kind of swirls and then embodies the mask and forms into this. I've described it before. It's this 7 foot tall, kind of humanoid behemoth of a figure, but it's taken on a newish shape. As now, instead of these 3 foot long talons, it is covered in what appears to be this thick, shaggy, sharp fur almost. Its arms have become these massive, basically forearm paws, and it is kind of similar to that of a black bear. And it just looks at you and lets out a snarl, and please make a will save as it attempts to intimidate you.
It's probably gonna do a really good job.
No!
It did a really fucking good job!
Would you like to
nat
spend a hero
one.
point?
Yes, I would, because I want to feel good about this fight.
Ooh.
15.
15.
That's a 15 plus your will
my
save.
3, so 18.
18? Okay, you are simply frightened.
What would have been a nat 1's result for an intimidate? that
I
goes
just
crazy?
faint and fall out of the sky.
Against this thing, she would be incapacitated.
Ooh,
Yeah,
okay,
I would
okay,
faint
good
fall out
choice,
of the
good
sky.
choice, good choice.
Which is defenseless, stunned, and unaware.
Okay, so what does
Alright.
frightened mean? Because I'm looking on here and I don't see it.
I should probably have this up. I apologize.
Do we have on any of these pages the affliction
I don't have frightened.
or the conditions?
I've got it.
There
Don't
should
worry.
be a list.
Just give me a second. Literally, just give me a second.
Panic!
Huh.
No, that's above frightened.
I'm sorry, frightened is what I wrote here, and then I wrote in parentheses what frightened actually translates to.
Okay, that makes
You're
sense.
impaired. So
Okay.
you're at a -2 on all checks.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
It is a fear descriptor applied to impaired.
Cool.
And this is its manifest turn, so its movement was actually manifesting, because of the way her power had to be rebuilt as her power threshold went up. So it is not a create like it not a summon like it used to be. Turn order does shift back to you. So basically, its move was manifesting, and its standard was that roar.
I'm gonna go up higher. Go to same this is the y-axis, right? No, it's the x.
It's why.
Why?
Same y-axis.
Yep, you go up.
But just up another 100 feet, so I'm at
Cool.
180 now.
Cool.
Because frightened.
Yep.
I am afeared.
Yep.
I am shooketh.
What's the range on your powers?
I hope it increased more because.
Because I remember it being 120 last
Yeah.
time.
Yeah, I
120
think,
sounds right.
Hold on. Nope. I remember. I think I did something to increase it, but I really hope that it was the thing that actually increased it.
Do.
Does it just increase as you put more points into it, like everything else?
It gets slightly larger, but it's not crazy.
not doubles.
No.
Okay.
That one's
Oh
in, like,
no,
increments
I
of
had it
20.
extended to my senses, not my attacks.
Yep, that's what I thought.
Okay, so
You
never
you
mind.
can still hit from that distance. You'll just take penalties.
I'm already
Yep.
taking penalties, so no. I'm going
Okay.
to just be 120 feet.
Okay.
You could standard and then move.
You could also do that.
But all right.
What are you doing for your standard?
going to try affliction again because I need her to drop.
Sure.
I can't do. Okay, no. Here's a question: does it have a separate heartbeat, or is it just hers?
It has no heartbeat.
Okay, figured I should check.
Yep.
A good try, my good friend.
What would you have done if I'd said yes?
I would have
Aim
been
for
more
it.
scared, in fact.
I would have been extremely frightened, more creeped out,
My-
and then I would have been like, okay, I have to make a choice between targets now.
My personal frightened would have increased.
We're just gonna try for an affliction again.
Absolutely.
Nice.
That's gonna hit versus her dodge.
Thank goodness. DC 15 for.
She's gonna fail by 1 degree.
So she is dazed.
Okay, so she only gets 1 action this round.
As it's just a very thin line that I managed to reach down and pull out of this bright, blazing beam of light, and it just swirls in a corkscrew around Allie's right arm, not getting on her costume. It's just a very pretty corkscrew of, now what do I do with it? Shit,
Yep.
shit.
And then it
Now
goes
I
to her
know.
turn.
Now I have her blood and this is bad.
She's dazed. She's actually gonna delay until after the bear.
Yeah, because I can't do
The
anything
bear's
with the
going to
fucking bear.
spend its first action, and it looks in her direction and just puts one of its like massive paws out, and then a tiny little 6-foot orb of darkness materializes around her. That's its standard. For its move, it is going to just make sure it is directly under you, and it tenses.
Fuck!
And then it goes to her turn. Her healing queues up because she's in darkness. So at the end of her turn, she'll remove the daze. She would have removed it anyways, but this is always its first action. And so for her standard, she can do nothing because she cannot take standard actions while in this beam. She can take move actions. She moves up the beam. Just kidding. She's in an orb of darkness. She stays exactly where she is.
Like a pneumatic tube.
Basically. Yeah, no, that is part of her movement. That is unstable, but right now she can't do it. So turn over back to you.
I'm going to not be directly over this thing and just make another, just go 180 degrees.
Yep.
If we're going in a circle, just
Yep.
nope. No
How
thanks.
far away are you
I'm still 120 feet
from Ramona?
from Ramona.
Got it.
So very far from the bear.
Yep.
I would like to be far from the bear.
Yep.
This is the intention. I want to try weaken, but I'm trying to think of which one I'm aiming at. Lowering stamina would technically, lower it enough and she will technically go unconscious. Yes? That's the one?
Yes.
Okay.
If stamina hits -5, she goes unconscious.
Okay.
You can only lower it up to 5, so that's banking she has a stamina of 0.
This is true.
But it also makes her toughness and her fortitude lower, which are the two you target.
A little bit.
Say it's worth it.
Because at the moment she's not really dodging and parrying. That seems to be the bears.
You've also been rolling well
Yeah.
and aiming.
The aim only works for the one.
You
Yeah,
still
yeah,
did
That's
it.
okay.
Still did it, and that was
Still
helpful.
took the time.
So I'm going to attempt to weaken
With a 3.
stamina.
Hit with
Okay,
it.
roll a hit versus her dodge.
12 and 7 gets me
19.
19.
19 does hit her dodge.
Okay, it's a DC 15.
She's going to fail by 1.
Okay, so the corkscrew just tightens around Allie's arm.
Mhm.
Still not on her costume, she's not gonna be bloody, but it just tightens down.
Absolutely.
And
How
you said
many
by 1
numbers?
degree?
Yep. So she
1
no,
degree?
by 1.
By 1 point.
1
That was by
point.
1 point.
I know how this power works now, so I'm giving you the number.
Sweet.
Okay.
So that
So
she-
is it her fighting is her stamina is reduced by 1.
Yay!
Yep. Her stamina is reduced by 1.
And that, her healing and regeneration will not cure. I put incurable on my weaken.
Super important.
Super fucking
Reaction
important.
based to her being harmed.
Oh.
The bear leaps.
Yep. How hard do I get fucking clobbered?
The bear can't leap up to you.
Yeah, I was like, even Rin can't leap that far without really
The bear
trying.
leaps to the other side of the arena.
Mm-hmm.
To underneath you.
Mm-hmm.
Then it goes to the bear's turn. Because when you delay, that is your permanent place in the initiative. The bear is going to look at you, and it's going to use its move action, and it's going to make a slam attack against you.
Ow!
The bear's just gonna.
I'm just gonna get fucking I'm gonna get clobbered.
The bear's gonna
It's at a
elbow
neg-
drop you.
It's at a -2. How much do I get? So am I.
I have to first hit you.
Does
Just
impaired
the
affect your-
things you roll.
Does impaired affect your defenses?
No.
No.
Not unless you are rolling the defense.
Okay, good.
So your parry is currently base 3 and then +2 for
Yes.
Correct.
range. It is not going to hit. But that is its standard action as it leaps up, like trying to charge into you, and you feel the force of its impact right next to you as it actually kind of hits one of the barriers by the audience, and you see cracks.
Yeah, Allie
in
gets
the barrier.
pulled some just by like the air vortex.
As this bear slams into this barrier, no pun intended. And like I said, like this thing has the strength to damage this tech, and it begins to fall down, and it's gonna use its move action. That was its standard. The leap was its
reaction. Thank you.
It gets reactions whenever Ramona gets hurt.
That makes sense.
Or targeted.
Okay,
well,
thank
anytime something successfully lands on Ramona, it has a reaction-based power that triggers.
Okay, I gotta think around.
It is queued specifically up to her.
That makes sense. Thank you.
Absolute terror.
A little bit.
As it did that, and then its move action, it is going to move territorially towards Ramona.
Okay.
And it like assumes this like a mother bear stance almost around her. Mind you, that's because it's mostly mindless. It does not recognize that it doesn't matter if it's near Ramona. Turn order shifts to Ramona, who her healing cannot cure that, and she is no longer dazed. That was the one turn.
She can still get rid of wounds and stuff. She just can't lower the toughness.
Yeah, she has to stay in the darkness to heal. So the darkness stays where it is. She is going to slide up 30 feet in this pillar, and just like her body shifts to face you. That's it.
I'm feeling some fear. Sarah is feeling some fear. Knock her out. If the bear is where Ramona essentially is, I'm going to keep my 120 up and over, just away from Ramona.
Yep.
Just standard.
Yep.
So I've lowered that by 1. We're going to try an affliction again.
Okay. This is versus her dodge.
Do I want to do the affliction or one of the weekend?
You tell me. Either way, roll it because it's versus her dodge to start.
I'm actually going to try and fling her blood back at her in a blast.
Ooh.
Cool. This is versus her toughness. I mean, she'll make a toughness check if you hit.
12, and actually I'm at a -2, so that's actually 17.
17 does hit her dodge.
Nice. DC 20 toughness.
DC 20. She's going to fail by 2 degrees, so she's dazed and suffers a wound.
Oh, damn.
And it's just the corkscrew directly back at her.
So the bear's trigger is going to go off. She has taken damage. So the bear is going to take a second, and it like lands on her orb, basically. That orb of darkness. It just lands on it. And it's just a little higher off the ground than it was before, but that's its reaction. Its turn. It's going to leap from the orb.
It's gonna leap the fuck out my face. Yeah.
Yeah, it's going to leap.
Is my face gonna get eaten?
Let's see.
We shall see.
Because it has a very high leaping score. It can't fly. It can leap and it can teleport through shadows.
And my
Oh, is that all?
My toughness ain't great, so how badly do I get
It didn't hit your parry.
I keep hoping it'll take fall damage on the way back down. But it's like,
It's made of
It's a
shadows.
shadow.
It's a shadow. It's actually
It
got a rule against physical damage.
oh dear.
Yeah, no, bear. Deer is Fia.
Dear Slayer.
Hey! As this bear leaps up towards you again, and one more time you feel the heat and this hot, heavy breath from this protective bear, and you see that featureless mask up close has shifted into that of basically an Oni's mask. Like demonic with bear-like features.
Nope.
It just crushes past you, striking this barrier again, and you just see another
I'm
crack.
going to need some therapy when we're done here.
Some therapy. And then for its move action, it's gonna get back on that orb.
I can barely stand it.
Yep. Then for her turn, she's just gonna she is dazed and has that wound. She's gonna use her move action to slide back into that darkness.
So she can heal up that wound.
And she's going to cure daze in the wound at the end of the turn. And then it's your action.
She goes back into the orb and heals wounds. The only thing that can keep doing... I'm going to try for weaken again. Because...
Weaken what stat?
I'm going to keep going for stamina. Because I want to keep lowering her fort and her toughness.
Yep. That's gonna hit.
Oh, so
Thank
close to
goodness.
a crit.
DC 15.
DC 15. She fails by another 1. Exactly.
So, okay,
Awesome.
so down by 2.
Yep. I have that noted. Is the cap 5 per attack or 5 total?
5 total.
5 total.
Okay, cool, thank you. It's going to trigger the bear's reaction.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna leap at you.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna make another slam attack.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna miss you again. It has rolled a
Goodness
5
gracious.
and 2 6s. As this bear, for the third time, hurls itself at you. It is failing and failing and failing. And so for its action, it delays until after Ramona. Ramona's gonna slide up the tube, effectively 30 feet.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna go to the bear. The bear is going to standard to make an orb of darkness around Ramona, and use its move to teleport to the top of that orb.
Oh, I hate it. That. Oh, I don't like that.
This bear's
That's
fucking
that
crazy.
sequence.
They're playing leapfrog.
It's your action.
I don't like that.
This bear wants you dead and is not very efficient about it.
I'm not being very efficient
It's
about
very
me making
efficient.
it dead either.
It's your action.
I'm not. I know.
As this bear is holding its form on this 6-foot sphere.
30 feet off the ground.
No. 60.
60?
Yeah, Ramona's base plus this last turn.
Gotcha.
And it is just, like, the mask is beginning to snarl at you.
Well, if it's gonna go up, I'm gonna go up equally high.
Yep.
Yep.
As you, this is an escalator fight, an elevator
Sure.
fight.
Then that's what we gonna do.
For sure.
I'm trying to think of a way to get clever with this, but I don't know how to get clever with it. I've already done the 2 weekends. We're gonna.
She's 2 points weaker.
Mm-hmm.
She is 2 points bigger. I'm trying to add something more to it than just like I do the thing, and
I
I.
respect it.
What
But
would
I-
you like to do? What's the cool thing? Tell me what the cool thing is.
I'd love to get rid of the shadow somehow, but the only way to do that is to get rid of her.
Is it?
Dun dun. Get rid of her.
What would I have to roll to maybe have some kind of brilliant spark idea? Because as far as
Inspiration,
Ali's
hero
ever
point.
seen,
Hero point. You can spend a hero point for inspiration.
because as far as I've ever seen, it just sticks to her like some kind of glue water thing. I don't know how it would go
The
away.
shadow is primarily tied to her anxiety and panic, to her fears and her social difficulties. And usually in the past, it has been that so long as people have been paying attention to her, that increases, that grows, the darkness until it reached a breaking point, and
then
the
she
darkness
snapped.
and the darkness is released, and she becomes this sort of pillar of light. This is what you know as a basic synopsis of her power. As far as a theoretical spark of inspiration, if there's any way you can get that mask back on her, that might do it. Because as she came into this arena with that mask on, she was managing her anxiety just fine. But the moment she took it off is when the bear came out. Just as a reminder too, because this was an inspiration thing, the bear has a move and a standard every turn, but it also has a reaction-based single action anytime a successful attack lands on Ramona.
Mm-hmm.
Just to give you the full recap.
Yeah, I have no idea how to use it.
Ramona does not have standard actions right now, just move actions. And she gets one a turn. I'm just giving you the full lay of everything that's available. The bear is currently pretty much on her. It's on the orb that she's inside.
Just ask him nicely for the mask.
My persuasion's not that good, is the thing.
You know that this thing has been talked to before.
I also know my persuasion's not great, and I don't know what to say. We're in an arena where the idea is to fight until we're done fighting.
I think that's fair.
Theoretically.
Like that's what we're here for.
Okay.
Could I theoretically, because I have move object, but it's tied to my wings and I can't use it while flying, would I simply plummet if I tried to literally blow the mask off in an attempt, or would I would I end up falling and taking the damage if I try to use a gust?
So I think it is totally fair to say that if you could get over it, you could justify a move object creating that gust, which would send you up in kind of a quick little thing, and then before you fall, you could absolutely catch yourself and have you lose altitude, but I think that is absolutely justifiable.
Then I'm going to attempt that.
Okay.
Because I should have enough movement feet to try that.
Okay. So the way this works, because I had to have rules for the mask and how it interacts with this thing, is it is making an opposed strength check versus your move object, which
It's
is
move
rank.
object 3.
Okay, so this is versus an 18. unfortunately, this time it rolled a nat 16. So it manages to, like, you see, and that mask starts to shake a little bit, but the bear just, like... And then it's going to go to the bear. And it has done a lot of leaping. It's going to go for one more.
Like, it's tired now.
Now that I'm directly over it,
She grows wings.
You are in this pillar of light, though. And as it
Bright spark.
as it leaps up, you notice that it kind of leaps out, like the sphere it was kind of clinging to on the side, and as it leaps up, it is adjacent to the pillar, not in it, and it is going to try and swipe at you as it reaches
Solar flare.
that pinnacle of the height. It is going to try and it's not going to try and swipe. It's going to try and bear hug you.
Yeah, hugs.
That's not the reaction you should have.
Sarah's
that
trying to
hits you.
relieve her tension.
That's fair.
Are you
That's
okay?
fair.
Yes.
Bears are spooky.
I'm fine.
Man.
I'm just still trying to think of a way to make this like an interesting fight rather than blow, 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 blow.
Okay.
Yes, I'm still fine.
So it lands its grab,
Okay.
and it is by degrees, right, Isaac?
You need to
Opposed strength check, right?
first hit the close attack,
It
which did.
Yeah.
Then it is a resisted roll of strength or dodge. So whichever is better, your strength or your dodge.
Your dodge is currently 7 because you're in the air.
So it is resisted. So
16 and 7.
23.
23 beats its roll. As you feel that paw come in, like, and it's coming into this beacon.
I tighten and just curl up inside the beacon of light.
Yep.
And then expand again.
So as you tighten inside the beacon of light, you watch as it can't actually fully close into the beacon. The shadows are almost kind of eradicated the longer it spends in the light. This is me both flavoring its failure and giving you some knowledge about how this interaction works. As it cannot physically exist in this light for too long.
I use that here, boy.
And then as its move action, it will basically it falls after this attack and it teleports back up to be primed on the side of that sphere again. Then it goes to her turn, and she's going to stay exactly where she is. Actually, she's going to move to the sphere 30 feet lower.
elevator, go back down.
What's the penalty again to power stunt?
Well, you just become fatigued.
You become
Okay, but
fatigued.
I'm already frightened. But what does fatigue do?
Fatigue just slows you down, and you're so fast that it doesn't really matter.
Yep.
Okay.
And again, frightened was the word I wrote, but it is impaired is the
Okay.
status effect.
I'm already impaired. So then I want to, because I did this during the crisis thing, I want to try and just calm her heartbeat down.
Absolutely.
I want to try and just make her less panicked.
Yeah, roll versus. She'll make an opposed fortitude. You have to roll the hit first.
-2 gets me 8 + 7 was only 15.
15 hits her dodge.
Oh,
She's not a fighter.
Yeah.
she's also full mummy in a dark sphere in the middle of a rapture.
Mm-hmm.
Typical DC is 15.
Yeah, she fails. So I'm going to have this calm her. This would have been fortitude, I said, and she's at the -2 stamina.
And Allie just holds out her hand. She's like, "Don't be afraid."
And you watch high or low. Pick high or low, and I'm talking about the spheres.
Low.
The low sphere disappears.
She was in that one.
Yeah, she was.
She's dead. She's gone.
The sphere disappears, and she's just sitting there floating in the light. Kind of, her head is tilted up in your direction, but still in this blood red and purple geisha kimono.
It's a geisha or geisha?
Geisha.
Geisha. It's geisha. I'm just white. The bear clinging to this thing, and that is your standard. Would you like to do anything for your move? And this did actually, like, the pillar kind of shrinks a little bit, too, with that.
I want to descend down the pillar of light, staying in the pillar of light, but just I'm above Ramona now. I'm just closer to Ramona in the pillar of light. I realize it puts me closer to the bear, but I'm staying in this light.
Yeah,
That's
you're
fine.
basically bear, you, Ramona.
That's fine.
For the
What's
bear's
the worst
standard,
that could happen?
it creates a sphere of darkness around her, because that's what it does for its standard,
Because that's what it does.
whenever she's not in one. And then for its move action, it teleports right to that sphere. So you're 30 feet off the ground. It is clinging to the side as if physics don't apply to it, like this is just a surface it can stand on. And it is right in front of your face. Basically, you're falling down, and it, like, you watch disappears into this orb and reappears from this one like a bear coming out of a river. And looks up at you. It is Ramona's action. Ramona has no action. It is your action. Like, she's not doing anything. There's no benefit for her movement.
Spider bear does whatever a spider bear does.
So calming her did have an effect on her powers.
And now I'm trying to think of good words. There's not a lot. We're in the middle of an arena.
Use your words good.
That's what she does, and I'm trying to think of good ones to use.
And on the off chance that the player doesn't have the words the character might, you can absolutely just roll the skill check.
My skill check is terrible, though.
Fair.
I have no presence.
I'm just saying, if anyone ever wants to play a super charming character but doesn't feel like they can actually roleplay that super charming character, you don't have to. The numbers support it. You can just roll persuasion. You play these games to play fantasies.
Damn, I should have asked her this before we went out, but I didn't think of it then. Like, if it would still be a satisfactory fight for her if she were able to keep the mask on. If it would still showcase who she was with the mask
She's
on.
had plenty of showcase.
Yeah.
But like, do you have to be afraid for this fight? Or can you let yourself be calm?
Is that what you ask?
Yes. I ask her, or the bear, or somebody.
Whoever's gonna answer.
You ask loud enough for both of them
For
to hear.
both of them to hear.
And you hear the voice coming from both ends because you're sandwiched between them. The bear is giving you very much a very straightforward, very simple, leave her alone. And from her, because you're in this beacon of light, you hear this very faint, almost like bell chimes voice that's very much like, he protects me.
Not the question, Ramona, but good try.
No, like her head definitely tilted and considered the question.
Like, do you have to be afraid for this fight?
And that's absolutely free. So, staring to move is still yours.
And then spear her with some blood.
Just take off my shoe and hit her over the head.
Chancla. My superpower. Perfect aim.
I'm at this school to try and be a hero, and frightening you is not a heroic thing. Ramona, would it... Is there a way for me to not frighten you, not hurt you? Would it simply help if I let you move forward? Because frightening you is not heroic, and I want to not frighten.
Okay, that's going to be your standard. Because that was a good bit of
That
talking.
was a lot of talking.
And I'm going to go and have the bear delay. So Ramona now goes before the bear. Ramona simply responds, your heroism was in the first 2 challenges. And her head tilts. This challenge is not about heroics. This challenge is about showcasing what we are capable of. And her head kind of tilts away from you.
Okay.
And she just puts a hand out.
Oh dear.
And the mask drops off the bear. And lands in her hand. And I am capable. And puts it back on and the pillar dissipates. And she lands. Of conquering my fear.
Damn straight
Holding
you are.
back.
No.
Good.
We both just go absolutely nuts and wreck the entire
Oh no, it's
stadium.
on her character sheet. She has it. But she puts it on and lands. And then looks up at you normally. What are you capable of, Allie?
Let's find out.
The bear no longer has a turn. It's gone.
So much better now. That bear was frightening. Okay. Is it still her turn?
No, that was her standard.
Thank fucking goodness. Okay, then I'm going to go to 120 feet and try an affliction now that she's got 2 points of weaken.
Yep.
Ooh. That was not... That is in fact not pretty, because that is...
10?
Yeah,
10 does
that's
not
a
hit
10.
her dodge.
That's a 10.
10 does not hit her dodge.
Narratively, that works, though.
Yeah, narratively that absolutely works.
She's fighting under her own volition. She's dodging.
Yep. No, she actually has different defense. She loses active defenses when she's in her little stasis.
She can't move.
Yeah, basically.
Cool.
She's a very complex character sheet. She was a mess to write up, but I'm glad I did it because her powers are so cool.
Yeah.
And for her standard, she's going to manifest. So this is the last part of her powers, as she has conquered her fear
Yes.
for this moment.
Good.
And you watch as the long robe she has, like where you've never really been able to see her hands or her feet, shadows emerge from them. And she grows that extra 2 feet in height as shadows create the bottom of her kimono, and her hands turn into those 3-foot talons. And she glides towards you at an aggressive rate.
Ramona, you look so cool!
And she gets to the edge of the arena and begins gliding up the wall. She spends her turn moving. It is your action, as she is basically gliding up as high as she can.
She's so fucking cool. I'm just gonna get in range, and we're going to attempt a weaken again.
Absolutely.
What are you trying to weaken?
I'm still going for her
Stamina.
agility
Okay.
this time, because now that she's up and moving, she's got her dodge and her parry up again.
Agility. And what was the total to hit?
It's an 11.
Yeah.
11 does not hit.
Yeah, no,
unfortunately.
it doesn't.
And then for her turn, she's going to basically keep moving until she's kind of center of the arena, upside down, suspended from the ceiling. And she's gonna look at you. And she waves back with these talons, these talons coming out, and just does this. And the orb of darkness appears around you.
I don't like this.
You are visually basically at nil. Your infrared still kicks in. You can still see her heartbeat effectively, but you cannot see outside of the sphere.
But I can still target her.
Absolutely, you can. Or anyone in the
I was
audience.
gonna say, I can still hear her. I can
Yes.
still hear her.
That that heartbeat sounds like a villain. Take this.
You're crashing the sports festival. Stop it.
So it's your turn.
Just keep balancing between awaken and affliction, but we're gonna try affliction again
Absolutely.
because I need blood to throw at her. Oh, that one might actually hit. 16 plus 7.
Yes.
Thank goodness. Then that is a DC 15 fort save.
Unfortunately, she succeeds.
Damn it.
Not 19. And for her turn, she drops on you. And it's this spiral drop as her talons just come forward into this funnel shape almost, and she just begins spiraling towards you in this thing of darkness.
She's gonna Gurren Lagann you.
She's gonna try and Gurren Lagann on you. She's gonna. This is a slam attack.
No, she's gonna mess me up. Yeah. She messes me
I
up.
think this is the first hit on you this fight. Your parry is
At the moment, it's at a
15.
Yes, 15.
She doesn't hit you. So you feel these claws, like some of your hairs get clipped, and then her move action before she hits the ground, she teleports into that bubble, and you just see the mask floating in front of you. Hello, Angel.
Hello, Vessel.
It's your action.
Okay, I will have to put some. I just realized what I actually want to put on my halo at some point as a thing. Because I just realized that I really, really want to headbutt her, but it wouldn't work.
Why not?
Because I have, no close
Flavor
attack.
a blast as a headbutt.
I'm okay with it. Using
Yeah.
using the
I'm gonna give myself a nosebleed and hit you with it.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with it. So it's like I'm imagining almost a horn sort of thing of blood.
No, we already established
No,
this
it-
was a halo.
Absolutely.
The blood, not that anyone can see inside of the bubble, from the edges of the halo just covers it.
Gnarly.
before I crash
Gnarly.
into her face.
Love
I
it.
like it. I like
Love
it
it.
a lot.
And so yeah, we're gonna flavor this blast as a headbutt. Ooh, that's a 14.
14?
Yeah. Yeah, no.
Not versus
no,
her dodge.
I've rolled
Not
higher
versus
and
her
not
dodge.
hit her, so no, I didn't think it would.
Yeah, not versus her dodge. Any movement?
I'm trying to gamble if
Duke it out in the darkness.
because if I here's the question. No, the bubbles have tended to stay where they are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I'm gonna try and pull away out of the bubble.
Yeah, which direction?
Up,
down,
just in a
left, or
straight
right?
line, back.
Cool. Backwards. And you kind of bump into the barrier as you just gust
And the blood
yourself
just
backwards.
recedes back into my head.
And everyone sees that image of you flying back and this blood receding into this vault in your...
And they're like, oh wow, she must have gotten fucked up.
They're like, that was something. And
something
what
happened.
this is what everyone can see, but I wanted to wait until you were out of the bubble to describe it. The bubble itself, because Ramona has effectively gained additional size while she's properly hosting, you can see kind of her form just drooping out of it. The mask is present no matter where you're looking at the bubble. And you just see the talons out from the sides and like that kind of kimono of darkness out from the bottom. So you can still tell basically where she is. For her standard, I don't think she can actually get you.
She can power stunt.
She can. She'll power stunt. She's going to be fatigued because she doesn't get hero points. She's
That's
going to
okay,
be fatigued after this. Yeah. She is going to power stunt for an extra standard, basic. She's going to extra effort for an additional standard. So for standard, she creates a sphere of darkness around you. Then she moves into it. As she teleports behind you. Omae wa mo shinderu. And you just hear, I'm sorry.
Nothing personnel, kid.
And she's going to go ahead and make a grab attempt at you. And that's going to go ahead and make an opposed dodge.
You can
strength
do dodge,
or
right?
dodge, yes.
11.
Yeah.
11's better than what she rolled.
No, because I'm still at a -2.
It's a 9's better than what she rolled.
Sweet! We take those.
Yeah, we do. As everyone outside, you watch these talons extend out and then come back in to the orb, basically.
This is the most dangerous wet noodle fight I've ever seen.
They're really whiffing a lot here.
Yeah.
But this is very reminiscent of the first fight you two had, which is why I like it.
But on a much more epic scale. And
Yep.
now we're in fancy clothes.
And now it's your turn, Allie. As she's fatigued.
Is her heartbeat next to me?
Yeah. No, I mean, you know where she is.
Since I am in the shadow,
Mm-hmm.
would you let me automatically succeed at a touch attack?
I think making physical contact with her is okay. Yes.
Because my affliction was supposed to be a touch attack.
Yeah.
So I would like to automatically succeed if you're allowing it.
You'd still have to roll versus her parry here.
Damn it. Then
If it was just, I want to physically touch her, it's one thing. It's, I want to aggressively rip blood out of her body by making physical skin contact. She's going to resist that.
+7 over there. Okay, here we go.
Now, if you want to try and roll some sort of deception to convince her you're not attacking her with this touch.
That kind of bullshit takes more charisma than I've got. I'm at a -1 for that, which makes a total of a -3 for that. No, we're
So
not
what are you up
doing
to then,
that.
Angel?
Affliction again, because if that one hits
Is
solidly
this, are
enough.
you going to do this as versus her parry or versus her dodge? Because traditionally affliction is supposed to be melee, and I'm okay with you rolling it as an alternate.
I get a bigger bonus if I roll it as a distance attack.
Okay, but what about her defenses? I'm just saying.
I'd be rolling it. It's either I roll it a -2 or a +5, essentially.
Oh yeah, that's never mind. Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
like it doesn't matter
Roll
what she
roll
has.
versus her dodge then.
The best part of this is you can do all the same stuff that's written on those cards. You can just flavor it differently each time.
Yeah. Because she's doing the same thing every turn, just a little different flavor.
So we're still going to do mechanically an affliction.
Afflict.
I didn't want. That's not
That
gonna hit
was
her.
almost a 15.
You're right there.
It was almost.
And for your move?
We're gonna go out of the bubble again, but at a different angle, so I don't go into the first one.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
That'd be incredible. Just like, oh, damn it.
Wait, again!
Absolutely.
Polka dot sky with all these bubbles of darkness.
That's what it's starting to be.
But she has to push to do it.
Mhm.
So
She
either I'm
has
gonna
to
wear
push to
her the
continue to
fuck
chase you.
out,
Yeah.
or I'll get more time.
She has to struggle to continue to chase you. So long as you don't go down. If you go down, she can chase you pretty relatively easy.
She just falls.
Yep.
I have one advantage at the moment, and I'm not gonna let it go.
You've got more than
easily.
one. You've got more than one, but that is the most obvious one. So you're gonna zippity do the heck out of her range.
Little bit.
So this is kind of her last gambit here, because if she doesn't do this, then you are just gonna wear her down. She's gonna extra effort again, and she's going to repeat her sequence where she creates. This time, it is gonna be an orb above you,
And
like,
drop on me.
Not quite. It is kind of like about, 5 feet above you. Her move action to move into it, and then her standard to suspend down from it and try and rake at you. She just.
She's so cool.
She is very cool.
Mm-hmm.
I'm still worried though.
She is gonna hit your parry. Please make the first toughness check I've required from you this fight.
I think it might be the second.
That's an 8.
8?
How solidly does she knock me out?
She doesn't knock you out. You suffer a wound and you're dazed.
Okay.
She's also at some pretty gnarly penalties right now. You've been wearing her down. And because she has now used extra effort twice,
She's exhausted.
she is exhausted.
On the verge, that's enhanced. Exhausted characters are near collapse. You're doing nothing.
Yeah, no. As throughout the course of the fight, even if you haven't been successfully necessarily weakening her every time, it is a struggle for someone to resist that pull each and every time. And you watch, and she feels that strain, and she feels these incremental advantages you're getting over her. Her movements are becoming more frantic and simultaneously less energized. They are a lot wilder, and she is almost beginning to feel like that bear.
Still doesn't look pretty in my brain. It's.
It's a gorgeous fight. It's literally light and darkness darting around the battlefield as an angel weaves between a demon's claws.
This is very anime.
Very anime.
Just because your brain refuses to put in the big bucks for the production value.
It's not as bloody as I want it, Court!
Thank you.
There's not as much of a bloodbath.
Then make it bloody.
This is what I came here for. This is a
If the numbers allow me, we're going to try an affliction one more time. Because I could use blast, but I want to use her blood. Damn it!
Absolutely.
I want to hit her. No,
That die hates you tonight.
it hates me. It doesn't want to hit her.
In traditional D&D, this is where you put that dice away and grab a different one.
Yeah. Do you want?
No, because Allie has another set. The thing is that I'm trying to wait on that set until she snaps.
Ah.
That's valid. That's valid.
That's fair.
Would anyone like to spend a hero point to help Allie on that?
No, don't. No, use it for your own fights.
From the crowd. You can do it, Ellie! We all believe in you!
Angel, be nice.
11.
11.
is still better.
11
As
Plus?
the base plus.
plus, or my -2, so 9 plus 7 gets me a 16.
16 hits.
Okay. It's Angel! God dang! And that was Affliction DC 15.
She fails that by 2 degrees.
Okay, that puts her down to stunned. As it's Angel, and it's
Stunned.
2 hands.
So she can no longer use her free sustain action.
Something like that. But
She gonna
Yeah.
fall.
the pretty. It's Angel, and it's 2 hands pulling it sideways, and it comes out it would be along the fancy claws and the arms, out of the sleeves, and down to around my own hands.
Yeah.
Just in
So basically,
trails.
the blood in her veins around these extended limbs, because when you stun her, her sustain ends and she cannot hold this stance anymore. Even though it's a free action, it is still an action. Stun says cannot take action. So this is effectively going to be ending the fight. so I'm just gonna narrate the end of this as you rip the blood out of the veins on her arms, and those talons are replaced very quickly with streaks of blood, and those form, you said, basically as your your bloody talons.
Comes down and just around to my own hands.
Yeah, as you've got them, and she just begins to fall.
Catch her.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And as she falls through a sphere of darkness, you watch as it disappears one at a time, and you find yourself falling alongside her and grab her, and it's literally that iconic image of an angel carrying an unconscious being.
Yes.
As you just land gently to the floor, and like you can see a crack in the mask. It's almost as if moving through the spheres of darkness had a physical impact on her. And like a little piece chips away, and you can see one eye just gently open. You can tell just by the eye that she's smiling at you as she just taps out. And that ends your fight.
You are so cool, Ramona. Oh my god, you're so fucking cool.
Oh, you angel.
You're so freaking cool.
And that moves us to Robin. Would you like to say anything to the crowd at the end of this fight for potential at a hero point?
She is her own vessel.
Robin? Yeah? Gravitas, you enter the arena, and across from you, in that heavy, pelted cape, with this circlet in her hair, her like combat boots made to look like pleated hooves. Across from you in the arena is Fia. The deer.
The deer.
The stag. And
Jane Doe.
Jane Doe looks at you and rolls for initiative, and you're still first. Every player character's been first.
Good.
As you have the first action 120 feet apart from each other, the crowd going... I'm sorry, there's some narration to go along with any beginning of a fight. Yep. I thought it was sick. So was the Miko one, it was just different.
Yeah.
Because Isaac's going to get some of these crazy fights coming up.
You just dragged him along the ground and literally uprooted his back.
Them.
There.
There. Them and there.
You uprooted their back.
Let me find it.
You weeded that garden.
I'm looking for Robin. Robin. The air grows heavy with excitement as Gravitas makes her first impact. Across from her, the unstoppable, untamable, and unrelenting wild child. It's Jane Doe. Now you can take your first action.
Okay. Well, honestly, it's a pretty simple movement to fly into like the center of the ring. My flight is 4, so how many feet?
500.
500? Cool. So just center
Yep.
center of everything,
Yep.
honestly.
Yep.
And I would like to vacuum up Fia
Sure.
to where I am and
To where you are?
yes,
Okay.
and drop her.
Sucks to suck.
What's the fall damage formula, please, Dex?
Distance rank fallen times 2 plus 4. And then
She succeeds on her toughness check.
Dang.
Damn.
She's hit the ground like a fucking superhero landing.
The whole thing cracks.
Yes.
God, imagine if she
actually.
rolled like a nat 1 on that. Robin's like just like, dun, got him.
Slam dunk.
That could have been it. But you vacuum Fia up, and as you do, she just thanks. And then like with that landing, it's not the superhero landing, but it's just a prone like as the stadium does crack underneath the might of Fia of Jane Doe. She rolled a 19, and her toughness score is pretty decent.
Oh yeah.
There's gonna be a slugger face.
Huh?
would have to be, yeah.
Yeah. Because you said
What was the distance rank fallen?
the distance rank was 3.
Okay, so that would have been a 10.
That's a 14.
20, right?
Times 2 plus 4. So distance rank
6.
3 would be 6 plus 4. 10.
10, and then 25 on the toughness check.
20.
So at least 6. Her toughness is at least 6.
Yep. You have assessment and can figure that out on your own.
I was gonna say, I could do that.
I did something pointless.
Now, this is an unfortunate thing, but she has no way to reach you. Her leaping is not enough to reach your current
She's not a shadow bear.
200-ish feet up.
Uh-huh.
She is going to go ahead and stomp the ground twice with that, like her right hoof. It's feet, but she's got these hoofed boots.
Hoof boots,
And then does that little scrape, and that's her action.
Uh-huh.
Thea, half of our class flies. Why would you not be prepared for this?
She is. She's just not prepared to leap 200 fucking feet.
Sounds like a her problem.
Not all of us can explode our knees, Ren.
What would you like to do?
I
Uppercut.
would like to have saved the projectiles from the previous day.
You'll have to give me a hero point for that.
That's fair.
I double checked everyone's preliminary actions, so.
She's going to use nail
'Cause,
polish
like-
remover.
No.
It's the empty
There's
acetone
plenty of
bottle.
rubble on the stadium if
Oh,
you'd
that's
like to
true.
try and go get it.
That's true. Then I would like to fly down to the edge of the stadium. It's a readied action, isn't it?
Yeah.
To charge.
Yeah.
I was gonna say,
That's
you just gave her a
fine.
good run up.
Yeah, you did. 120 is very doable.
Uh-huh.
As you fly down to grab it, and you watch as almost lightning fast, and a little bit more of that that anime impact as she braces for the charge and leaps forward in this
Part of it is seeing all the cool things
devastating
they can do.
speed,
Yeah.
and rolls a nat 1.
Oh, baby.
Rubble.
Yeah.
Trip.
She doesn't trip, but she comes at you, and it's really that flurry of rubble that kicked up with her. Some of it set her a little bit off balance, as she whiffs this charge just a little bit.
And now I have rubble, and would like to. How close does she land in relation to me on the edge of the stage?
And she's adjacent to you.
Adjacent? Cool. Then I'm going to try to brain her with it as an improvised weapon.
Cool. This is versus her parry.
Yep.
Parry this.
Casual.
And accordingly make it like a large piece of rubble that's like twice her size. That doesn't necessarily affect like the thing, just thematically. That's going to be a 22.
22 is going to exceed her parry.
Cool. So she has a DC 22.
DC 22? It's a damage rank of 7?
Yes? I believe so.
And you rolled a 22 to hit. Wow, that was just a good roll.
It was just a good roll. It was a
Okay,
15. plus
she's going to go ahead and suffer a wound.
10. Cool.
Slap.
Cool. You're next to her. That makes her turn easy. She's going to go ahead and throw this like quick kick out. Versus your parry. And your parry's only 13, so that's gonna hit.
Yeah.
So please make me a toughness check.
Okay.
As you become hyper dense as this cloven foot comes crashing into your side.
That is a 29?
What the? You rolled
That was
that
a-
20?
I rolled a nat 20, yes.
Very casual 20.
Okay.
This dice likes Robin.
Yes,
died,
it
yeah.
does.
So her foot absolutely catches against you, and thankfully she actually has shin guards canonically in the art, and the shin guard cracks on the impact, and she goes, "Fine," and then just huffs and is going to extra effort to take another standard. And please make me a will save.
Will?
Yes.
Ooh.
It doesn't like you as much on will saves.
Not as much on Will. I'm going to hero point to reroll that.
Cool. Just set it down. Thea, where did your thing go? There
Okay.
it
Much
is.
better.
That is a dirty 20.
Dirty 20. Failure by 1 degree. You are currently impaired.
Okay.
As what happens?
As this thick scent enters your nostrils, and you begin to feel this aggressive tinge, and fighting through that fugue of rage is causing this impairment.
Cool.
Rage fugue.
Mm-hmm. It
Do you
does
see-
do more things at different regs, but that one was right there.
Fiesta musician.
Is your action.
Okay. Then I'm going to... Yeah, I'm going to try to attack her, specifically
Good.
with my... the damaging move object that's linked
So you're
to
trying,
my affliction.
you're trying to make her denser than her bones can handle.
Correct.
Gross.
Ew.
So first you have to roll a hit versus her parry.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
Plus 5 right now, so 23. 22.
Jesus, yeah, that's a hit.
Fuck.
You are on top of it, Gravitas.
Yep.
Okay, what is she rolling?
She is going to be rolling a fort resist, DC 18.
She fails by 1 degree exactly.
Okay, she is fatigued.
She already was.
So does that go to exhaust?
No. I don't believe that conditions stack like that.
Nope.
Not in that way.
Okay.
So she is.
Yeah.
Unless you have cumulative.
It is a cumulative.
Then she is
affliction.
exhausted.
Cool.
If that is the next thing.
Is that the next step? What are
No,
the
the next
steps?
step is prone.
Oh, she falls prone.
You threw her on the ground.
Yeah, as she is struggling against her own gravity to hold herself
Mhm.
up.
And it's because she's got those awesome horn like antlers.
Yep.
It's
That's what you've made dense.
Yeah, it's that, and she's just like
Nailed
head
to the
first in
Cool.
the ground.
Bow to me.
So that's an affliction-based prone.
Yes, it is.
So that's a status that she can't just casually clear.
Mm-hmm.
She can't just stand up.
Mm-hmm.
That was good.
So
Real-
she is going to lift like one knee, almost like sumo squat level at this point, and just slam her foot down, and the earth shatters underneath. And I need you to make me a fortitude save.
That's a 5.
Okay, so she lifts her foot up and stomps, and basically in a 30-foot line in front of her, the earth shatters, and you fall prone.
We're both on the ground.
Breakdance fight.
As
Breakdance
you-
fight.
You have the opportunity to stand up, but she is going to...
At the end of her turn, I believe she'd make a fortitude save to be able to stand up.
Huh?
Yeah, yes.
Cool, she's gonna make that. Nat 1.
Oh, she does not.
He does not.
Yep, as she's still struggling, but she tried to bring you down with her as she used her Thunder Stomp.
Mm-hmm.
And as your action... I'm sorry. And then her free action is to sustain. So at the beginning of your turn, make me another will save.
Okay.
DC 21.
DC 21. Got it. Plus 2. I failed by... It's a 13, so 2 degrees? 1 degree? 1.5?
2 degrees.
2 degrees.
2 degrees. Wonderful. You are forced to engage in physical combat with Fia, and you are considered defenseless.
Not pretty.
Not pretty.
As you are blinded with rage as these pheromones enter your olfactory system. And... olfactory, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. And, sorry for the spike. And, you can see nothing but her in your way.
Mm-hmm. Defenseless character has...
Active defenses equals 0.
Okay.
Which I mean is pretty similar to what Robin's already doing.
Except now she can either routine check her attacks or get auto crits with
This is all I want.
a 10.
Fia could pretty much do that already. Robin's defenses are like 2.
Auto crit though.
Auto crit over a 10. Yeah, that's what she's going for. But she is at a -5 on her
Because
close
she's-
attack checks because
she's
she's prone. And
He's
so are you.
prone.
And I think she's also exhausted, so
Yep.
a total of -7.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So
No, she's not exhausted. She's fatigued.
Mm-hmm.
No, she's prone, right?
Yes,
Yeah.
because the fatigued advanced into prone.
thank you.
So it is your action, Robin.
All right.
As she has basically forced you to lose your footing and knocked you prone, but she is still struggling against your affliction.
Mm-hmm. Hand still on her. I would like to stand up. Is that just my move?
That's a move action.
It's a move
Okay,
action. Yep.
cool. And then I would like to apply my decompression sickness to her.
Sure. So you've got to roll versus her parry.
Yep.
Why am I rolling?
You get a bonus of +5.
Yep. Yep. If you had just fought while prone, they would have negated each other.
Weasel fight.
Much better.
Okay, so that's an 18.
Versus
Plus
her
five.
parry? +5. Yeah.
Because she's on the ground.
Okay, So-
you hit.
I hit.
Yes.
Excellent. So then, fort resist, it is just a DC 14 right now.
She succeeds on that by 1. Yes, because she's prone. And fatigued, but no, she's not
Not
any
exhausted.
penalties to rolls. So she succeeds.
Okay, then nothing happens.
Okay, what is your decompression sickness trying to do? Flavor-wise. Fuck the mechanics.
Okay, flavor wise, it's like rapidly changing the density of the air just around her to be like thicker and pressing down on her.
Okay, and I'm just gonna go ahead and flavor. It is the movements of this struggle that are making it too difficult for you to lock that into place. And it's gonna go to her turn. And she doesn't care that she's prone. You said your hand was on her horn. She's gonna go ahead and try and make a strike that I'm flavoring as a horn attack.
She tries to rear her antlers at me.
12 minus 5. 7.
7.
Because she has to land a 10 to crit. And she has a +4, and it is a -5. At least on that attack, she has a +4.
Oh, so she can't even routine check it. She couldn't even routine check that hit.
Not
No.
from that position.
Not
Yeah,
from prone.
not from prone. And then at the end of her turn, she makes a fortitude save to stand up. And what's the DC on that?
18?
18? She misses it by a little bit.
Prone is doing work.
Prone's doing a lot of work as is stopping her from being able to do too much here. It is your action again. As this is your if you've ever seen a farmer with a goat, when the goat charges, like if a goat is too aggressive and charges, you grab it by the horns
Yeah.
and you maneuver it by the horns. I grew up raising chickens and goats, so I know this. At the beginning of Legend of Zelda: Twilight Princess, you do a bit of this.
Yep.
So it's literally you're wrangling her head down as she's trying to like, and she's like kicking up and stamping and bucking, but can't get you. So it's your action.
I would like to, with my other hand, pick up that rock that I used before and try to slam it
Yeah,
down
absolutely.
on her head.
This is rolling versus her parry.
Uh-huh.
You're at a +5
Okay,
because she's prone.
so then that's a total of a +10 because I'm still at the -2 from the impaired.
Yep.
It's a 12.
12 does not hit her parry, unfortunately.
No, that's fair.
As,
I hope
again,
so.
it is this struggle with her horns, and as you try to bring this rock down, it's like her horns don't shatter it, but they scrape it out of the way. Like she is conscious and fighting here as this struggle is taking place at the edge of the ring, and the crowd is absolutely like watching the close-up cam instead of the actual stadium fight because they need to see the specifics.
This is the first fight that isn't happening in 400 different directions.
Yep. Yep. And
It's just messy, but I like it.
Do you get a recovery roll to stop seeing rage at all, or is that
you do. Yeah.
Okay.
You do get a roll at the end of your turn. It's a will save.
Will save?
DC 21.
I do not make it.
Oof. Unfortunate.
That impaired is gonna make that hard.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. That's why it's the first stage. And it is the way it works is stacking. Yeah. Yeah, it is I don't remember the exact workaround I found, but basically so that it is stacking conditions instead of accelerating and advancing conditions.
Got it.
There is a flaw effectively for that. So it is going to go to her action, and she's going to go ahead and try and just because I'm going to let you know the flavor of holding her horns is the reason I'm not letting her kick right now, because you're basically keeping her head hyper weighted. If she kicks, she falls. Like, this is the flavor of her prone, and if you kick her, or
She kicks, she becomes more prone.
She becomes more. She loses a leg.
Yeah.
Like she just and has to do the splits.
Bicycle kicks.
Yeah, and she can't do that.
Oh, that'd be so tight.
Yeah.
So she's gonna go ahead and try and make another horn attack. 10 plus 4 is 14. Minus 5 is 9. As she again misses that strike, and then we'll make it's just this power struggle right now. It's fighting for center of gravity between the both of you. But you are gravitas, and she fails her save against the prone still, as she is really struggling, and she's got to try some tactics soon. She's gonna go ahead and extra effort again. Which is going to go ahead and put her at exhausted.
That's at the end of her turn, though.
At the end of her turn. And she's going to go ahead and try one more, because that's what she's got right now. No, you're going to make a fortitude save, as she's going to stomp once more.
Okay.
And try and cause that tremor of rippling stadium. DC 21.
That is a nat 1.
You are prone.
I'm at a -2.
You are prone.
Just prone?
-1.
There's no other escalation.
Okay.
It's literally a 30-foot line of prone.
Okay, just wanted to make sure, because that was the prime example of a critical potential fail.
Yep, but there isn't one. You're just prone.
Okay.
You're both prone.
Both on the
It's
ground
your
again.
action.
Cool, I'm gonna stand up for my move.
Yep.
Which does actually negate my previous plan. So she did do work.
She's got to keep you in place.
Mm-hmm.
But you have to stay in place anyways.
But I have to stay in place anyways.
At least until you overcome the pheromones.
Yeah. And I'm just gonna, partially because of the pheromone rage, just improvise weapon, try to brain her again.
Absolutely.
But this time I'm going for the, spine and trying to, break her.
Yeah, you're just going for this
as opposed to
backbreaker.
head.
Yep.
Yeah. Okay.
The violence.
Dirty 20?
30-20 hits.
+5 because she's prone.
Yep.
Okay,
25
so
hits.
25. DC 22?
Go ahead and describe how this incapacitates Fia, because she rolled that one on her toughness check.
Oh!
Okay. So, basically, Robin picks up this...
And if she didn't have the 1 wound prior, she would be at 3 degrees from that nat 1.
Ooh.
But the 1 wound brought her to 4 degrees.
Oh, Fia.
Yeah.
So, it's the one hand still on the antlers.
Mm-hmm.
She gets up and scoops up just, a hunk of anime-sized rubble. This. This is the Robin. This is the rubble. And just...
The Robin and the Rubble. It's my new English literature classic.
It just crushes and shatters on top of Fia.
And there's this moment before Fia collapses. We're still holding the horn, and this is what a lot of animals will do when they're driven to this point of exhaustion. Her eyes lock with you. She huffs one last time, just a... And then her eyes go white, and she rolls forward. And the crowd bursts into applause as they have before. And would you like to say anything to the crowd for the potential of a hero point?
The only thing that's coming to my mind is a weighty match, but that's not good.
Then you're good. Unfortunately, Gravitas does not have anything wise or empowering to say in this moment.
Mutter it on the way out.
She's
You bite your
still
tongue.
very, very angry.
No, you are, and it's this fugue of anger, and finally, you stumble out of it, having defeated this alpha, and you realize, oh wow, and you look back and you look at Fia unconscious, collapsed with this gigantic pile of rubble on part of
Considering
her.
you tried to brain her a couple times.
Yeah.
It's that
And you come to your senses.
I
yeah.
meant to do that, but I also didn't mean to do that.
Yeah, it was a meaty hit. And that is going to take us to our first food and drink and bathroom break if anyone needs it. If we don't, we can keep moving.
I would like to carry Fia to Panacea.
Absolutely. Yeah, you do. Without fail.
And also, question, do we get to see Panacea between these fights, or do we fight on with whatever wounds we have?
You keep any self applied debuffs like fatigue through exhaustion from hero point expenditure, your wounds are cured.
Okay. Thank you.
Now, can you imagine how awful that would be? If I'm like, no, the wounds persist.
They'd have to persist through everybody else, and then
Yep.
you'd have to keep track.
Then I'd have to keep track of it all. That's the
That's
real
like
reason I
no.
didn't.
Okay, so
8, and then
indeed.
What are the...
So am I still frightened and impaired, or
No.
was that just her?
No, you're not
Okay.
impaired.
One makes her.
The only effects that you will suffer between matches are if you extra effort yourself.
Okay, cool.
That's
Thank
it.
you.
Which is why when people have been backed into a corner, they're willing to double extra effort. And I'm going to have them do it almost every time.
I
Okay,
will also request the restroom.
go.
Sarah's going.
I know, but get up and start
Get out from
moving.
behind the table.
Okay.
point
So we're at
taken.
break. And then after Robin's fight, after Rin's fight, I'll narrate the first full circle of other fights.
E.
So we know what happened there, and we'll check in and see if everyone wants to keep going with the bracket or if we want to push to another night. So on and so forth. It's 9 o'clock. I don't know what everyone's obligations are, that's all.
Rin still has to fight.
I know.
Okay.
I said after Rin's fight.
Sorry.
You're good.
I didn't prepare any good words.
No worries.
Nor should you feel the need to.
Yeah, no, not every hero's like great at it.
You
It's
won.
totally fine. Yeah, you won.
You won. It's like I spoke with my actions. I'm carrying the loser. I am not she.
So far, every PC has won their fight, and this is absolutely a spooky one happening here.
You don't have to remind me.
As
Two people whose powers negate each other.
they don't negate each other. One of them absolutely negates the other, and one of them has the potential to negate the other.
I do not hard counter Terrence in the way that he hard counters me.
Yep.
Terrence just snowbang, and my power is off. I have to grab him and then begin steaming,
Yep.
which means that I have to make myself bleed.
Yep. Start of the fight, you just knife.
No, because I might regenerate it.
IDs.
Only until you turn it on.
I have to grab him and then use him to bludgeon myself, basically.
Jeez. Yeah. Yeah.
A leg lock into just like a body press into.
Gnarly.
It would be so ugly.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm not going to do that.
Do you mind if I see the bracket real quick?
I'm looking forward to seeing what you do come up with. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah, no, this is a fight I'm looking forward to.
It entirely depends on whether or not I go first. If I don't go first, this fight is pretty much a wash.
Thank you.
I can say that very, very confidently.
Have another death head.
Thanks.
Because, like I said, all Terrence has to do is... And now my power's off.
He has limitations.
Yeah.
All he has to do is make me cold. And then I am a different fighter. I can still potentially win.
He has to surround you with cold.
Yeah.
Like, enough cold to turn off, and...
Which is... I'm not skeptical in his ability to do that. All he has to do is be like, alright, I'm fighting Rin, I'm putting it all into snow right now. And he just extra efforts into more snow. And I think Rin can still take him without her power, but I do not think it's as impressive a fight.
I have faith in Nyx that this is going to not just be a, oh, you get snowed in.
Yeah, that would
Sucks
be
to suck
boring.
fight. Because that would just be mean and, as you said, boring.
And also, that wouldn't show him off. He wants to show off, too.
Just turns you into a snowman.
Showing off versus Rin is a dangerous game.
Yep. But if it were just about winning, he would absolutely turn one, go, extra effort, snow, snow, snow. Okay.
And we're like, But I mean, the thing is, that doesn't kill Rin or knock her unconscious. Now she's just mad and a little bit weaker.
Yep.
She crawls
still
out like,
strong.
go fuck yourself.
She's still strong.
Yeah, because she is immune to his cold.
Mm-hmm.
And that is the only part of her power that persists through it.
Yep.
So she's like, I'm cold and miserable, but not frozen, you inglorious bastard. Just throws a snowball at him.
Mm-hmm.
Smashes boards so he can't travel.
I thought about taking improved smash. I really should have.
There you go, Dex. Thank you very much. Last of the bathroom breaks.
Did you need to use?
No, I'm good. Thank you.
Fright, 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 fright.
Ramona versus Allie. That was fright. This is gonna be cool.
Her visual is very,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love her. There was intent behind her not being in costume the previous day. And her choosing to be in costume this day.
Straight up
Tactics.
terrifying. Yeah, no,
Yep.
it was frightening and it worked.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She knows what she's about.
Yeah, she did good.
She wanted to make up for the previous day's failure real bad. Where the
Yeah,
Pale Rider
yeah.
ruined her.
Yeah.
And I hope you don't mind that that's the name that Lilith.
Oh no, that's fucking awesome.
Terrifying.
That's fucking sick.
Even if her power is not death, she walks up to you and it's like...
It can be is the worst part.
Yeah.
If you're afraid of dying... No, that's the thing.
If you're afraid of death, she's like, cool.
If you're afraid of the Pale Rider... Like, if she instills the fear of death into you with her name...
Then her power's actually useless. She just stasis herself.
No. The fear of actual death because they think the Pale Rider...
Oh, no, that's what I mean. Like, she could turn into the Grim Reaper if that is your biggest fear.
Yeah.
Her biggest...
Could she reap though?
Yes. She has variable, so she can just flat out turn into the Grim Reaper if that's your biggest fear.
Yep. She's disgusting.
She's absolutely crazy, and that's why I refuse to play her.
And that's also why she chose a name that reflects, like, if she can just by her appearance on the scene make them fear death, she wins.
Oh, 100%. The biggest problem is she has to touch them first.
Yep.
And it's also much cooler than the name I would have given her. She was just Nightmare in my brain. I was like, yeah, very Venom, just Nightmare.
Mm-hmm.
And as you escort Fia to Panacea's office, you can see Rin passing by you, preparing to go up against Snowbank. Whiteout.
Mm-hmm.
Whiteout versus our wonderful uppercut.
Mm-hmm.
Whiteout's description, y'all saw it, but I'll go ahead and describe it because we do actually have another person watching now. So Whiteout. Hello. A pink snowboarding helmet with a visor. His blue hair barely peeking out around the sides and back as it's grown longer and a little more unkempt. He's got this white cream-colored hoodie, but and then the ring he's kept around his neck this entire time is stuck in a tiny diamond-shaped block of ice. His pants are ski pants of a similar white cream color, and he's got his black snowboarding shoes, pink laces, and his snowboard is covered in pastel snowflakes.
I like it.
Yeah, and he preps himself for this encounter, walks in, and you're 120 feet across from each other. And we get some narration as you enter the battlefield. And before the narration even begins, you hear, "That's my girl!"
Oh.
Terrence, I'm gonna use you as a projectile.
Just start bashing him against the barrier.
And you hear Duplex. "Everybody watch where you're punching. The girl with more energy than her body can handle, it's uppercut."
My body can handle this, you bitch.
And today she'll be facing off against the super cool Whiteout. And roll for initiative. I love your response though. You know
Fury
what?
in one direction, immediately.
This is what you get for that. Yeah, my body can handle this, you bitch.
It's my best friend.
And you're first.
Oh my god.
Terrence rolled a nat 1 on initiative.
Oh, Terrence. As he sees me yelling at the announcer, he's like, is that allowed?
If we're in the stands, Allie definitely has a sign up.
Absolutely.
100% I'm sitting there with a sign.
Rin is going to leap, but
Yep.
I'm not going to extra effort, so it is only 60 feet. So I only close about half the distance. And as she comes down, it's a furious pummel into the ground as the shards of ground then
Sphere around her.
to form a dome around Rin.
Nice.
Nice.
Fuck yourself, Terrence.
Okay, so everyone else can see as Whiteout spends his first turn, he's going to go ahead and throw that snowboard down, take, like, just enough so that it starts to slide, take a couple steps, leap onto it, and start generating a very thin slick of ice. It's snow, just hyper fine, creating this sort of, and he begins to, like, make his way and basically create a path covering about a third of the stadium for his turn. Just shh.
Yep,
And moving his way along. And you're in a dome, and it's your action.
Yep. As that happens, Rin pulls that mask down and then begins punching pieces of the dome out and at Terrence.
I love
love
it.
it.
That's sick.
That's an 18 to hit against dodge.
Versus his dodge.
So cool.
Fuck yourself, Terrence.
God, you're so angry.
He's the one student who has such an edge, and I'm mad
It's
about
the
it.
one student.
That hits his
her
dodge.
father's yelling.
So that's a DC 21 toughness check.
You just fucking shoot him off. Gonna laugh.
DC what?
DC 21.
Fails by 3 degrees.
Because this is technically as Rin is just in this dome goes up, Terrence is like, alright, I got this. And then just a rock.
Oh no, it
Straight
absolutely
into the helmet.
Straight to the helmet and like cracks his visor and so 3 degrees is a wound
And
and
staggered. And staggered does not
One
go
action.
away.
Nope. As Rin has an explosive start, which Duplex narrates. It's very much that. An explosive start!
Frame perfect punch.
So, Terrence, dazed and hindered. So, 1 action and -1 speed rank. He's gonna go ahead and, knowing that you can now hit him,
He's like, fuck!
his first action is he's gonna, like, take that hyperfine snow he's been creating. He grasps the crystal around his neck, and he encases, like, himself effectively in this layer of very thick frost. But that's his only action, as he creates basically armor made of ice.
Stay away from me. I spin kick a new piece of rock. And that is only an 8 to hit, as now he
8
sees it
does
coming.
not hit. Yeah, this time he just sort of...
That first one was full snipe. This one is not.
For his 1 action, he's gotta run towards you, because he has to sustain the ice on this. Because effectively, he's creating... He can't, like, form it around himself as a bulky suit of armor. It is an active conscious choice to maintain, because it's so fine that if he's not focusing on it, it will, like, become moisture again. He's gonna spend his 1 action running to the dome.
Alrighty. In response to that, Rin simply cross-cuts the ground to a massive tile now up between her and Terrence.
Absolutely.
Nope.
And so this comes up in between you and Terrence, who gets 1 action for every turn now. So it's just a matter of how can you outmaneuver him
Easily.
as you're giving yourself a single action every turn by being in the dome.
Who needs to move?
And Terrence is going to proceed to make his way back a couple steps. Everyone can see it in the audience. Gives up on this now that he has this theoretical thing in front of him, and he's going to just spend a turn creating this snowbank in between him and the thing you've just created.
She's gonna break this one at me too.
He has very good instincts, because all that Rin does after bringing this tile up is just to throw it into him. So his snowbank would, in theory, have to make a dodge check, but cannot, because it's a snowbank.
The snowbank's making a toughness
So it
check.
makes a toughness check DC 16.
The snowbank
No, DC 21.
fails by 2 degrees.
Alrighty, so that snowbank is dazed. And provided that the tile, because I can make it up to 11 feet by 11 feet, provided that it can then tip over and hit Terrence, he'll have to make the same dodge check.
Yeah. Nat 20.
As the snow
he
slows
knew
it down.
He knew what was coming, and it's not even that he, like, dodged out of the way. He kind of moved against the snowbank, and it just...
So he'll have to make a toughness check DC 18, because area effects, he only halves the damage.
Yep.
Wait. Oh,
Area effect.
okay, but not a fallen object.
Even a fallen object would do this, provided it was large enough. It's literally in the rules of Create.
But for falling objects, they get a dodge check that.
Provided the object is large enough to be an area attack, then they get a dodge check to halve the damage rank.
Okay.
That is flat out what the rule says.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. It's what his game plan was against you.
Same though. I was not letting him look at me. Fuck this kid.
What was the DC?
It's now an 18.
18. Terrence is out.
Squash. Rin just flips one of the tiles up and then just
Half a
Straight
minute
onto
after
him.
the start.
No. 12
seconds.
seconds.
No, 18 seconds.
18 seconds.
It has been. This is. Oh, I'm so satisfied.
Short as great.
She just
God.
takes a moment to listen and then.
And you see him, like, leaning into his own snowbank, totally wiped out.
Then she yanks the mask up, finds the nearest camera, and in Japanese, and Rin Hamura is stronger than iron. Goes over, grabs Terrence by the back of the jacket, and slings him over the shoulder.
Okay, that was brutally fast.
That was...
I love you.
This fight's taking too long.
Yes, you just...
I had a game plan.
You did.
And my game plan was don't let him look at me and then crush him.
Alright, so you make your way back to Med Bay for the wounds you don't have.
Oh, I didn't even get hit!
You didn't!
I don't think he had the opportunity.
What are the remaining first bracket matches? Give me the first one, Dax.
Ryan Rita.
Alright, so Forget Me Not versus Meteor Shower. I've got narration for all of these. That was wonderful, and I love you. As Duplex begins. The boy you'll never remember against the girl you can't forget.
Who?
Put your hands together
Rita.
for Forget Me Not and Meteor Shower. And everyone knows who Ryan is, because you're looking at him. It's 120 feet. He's on a fucking Jumbotron television and in front of you.
Mm-hmm.
It'll be hard to forget him. So, the fight starts, and Rita wins initiative. Meteor Shower wins initiative. And she begins to, she grabs, from her little crescent hair clip, generates one of her lunarings, throws it backwards, extra efforts immediately, throws one forwards at him, and he has to make a dodge check and fails, has to make a fortitude save and fails, and is immediately blinded.
You go, sister!
And then it is his action. He has blind fighting though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
He's a ninja.
Yeah.
he's gonna run forward very simply and try and get as close as he can. He has to move twice to do this. So he is spending his full turn moving. He's gonna move and then charge attack actually, because that is valid.
Yep.
He's gonna move and then charge attack. And versus her parry, that is not gonna be enough.
Yeah, you go, Rita.
As he comes darting in, and she just kind of shifts a little bit, and then it moves to her turn. The ricochet on both of her attacks triggers. The first one was an exploding, so it doesn't. But this one is going to go ahead and make its first attack against him. It's going to go ahead and try and strike him in the gut. He takes it, and
That's the fight?
No, he doesn't roll here. It rolls to hit him, and it rolled a 1 because this is versus dodge.
Oh, got it.
I was like, no, I'm doing something wrong. here.
Something bad happens.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, but it will come back next turn as it hurls out there. And Rita is gonna, a Meteor Shower is gonna go ahead and look at this stadium, and there's nothing she can physically throw near her.
Damn, they probably cleaned up all my rubble.
They clean up everything. So she grabs him. She nat 20s.
Yeah!
Zing!
He gets to resist with strength or dodge, and he's resisting with dodge because his dodge is much
But
better.
Rita gets a +5 because she crit.
Rita still fails.
Rita, you...
She lays hands on him, and then his training kicks in, and he just pushes it out of the way. Wing Chun kicking in, and then he is gonna go ahead and get his turn, and he is going to try and jab her in the eyes.
Blind versus
And
blind.
succeed.
Meteor Swarm.
And she forgets who she's fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And then he just moves behind her and is going to extra effort himself. Go for this grab. She makes a dodge. Strength versus his. She is not grabbed. She pushes his hands off of her. But as it goes to her turn, the first Lunarang she threw, the one she threw behind her, it gets a second attack because she has ridiculous amounts of ricochet points.
I love that.
And it's going to try and hit Ryan. So it strikes her.
She Spider-Maned him.
Yep.
Yeah.
He Spider-Maned her.
Yep.
Yeah.
It hits. And she nat 1s her toughness check. As he
As
slides behind her, gets her in this chokehold, she fails to drop it, but he's won the fight anyways, and he knows. And he just kind of pushes her forward a little bit as this crescent of energy and force strikes. It kind of weaves into her, kind of, if this is her, like this, whirl, 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 and catches her, and just kind of carries her into the air a second before, still blind, he catches her unconscious corpse.
He ain't messing around.
And he just shoots a thumbs up, not knowing where any of the cameras are. Still blinded. And proceeds to wait that out, and then eventually takes her to medbay. Who's up next?
Lenny Kyrie.
Lenny Kyrie.
Oh, Lenny, kick her fucking ass.
Spring.
Now,
Break her in half.
this is a fight I've already rolled, because I rolled half of the fights beforehand. So that I wouldn't have to roll out these fights at the table. Lenny versus Kyrie is an interesting one, as we are looking at Punchline versus Shudder. Punchline in her Harlequin costume, with her bangs acting as the springs attached to her bangs being the top of that, and she's got the white and green jester's tunic. She's even got the little bells on her boots. She goes ahead and starts, and she drops a weight on her foot and begins running this way, this way. Kyrie is having none of it. Shudder is having none of it. And Shudder takes a second, approximates locations, and just walks to basically where she thinks Lenny's gonna strike from, and holds. Lenny comes whirling in as basically she kicks, she gets to the edge of her range and then kicks off and comes sweeping across the entire stadium as this extended, stretchy, jester-looking girl, very excited and laughing the whole time. She's like, "I hope you're ready." And Shudder is ready, as Shudder is incorporeal for this round and proceeds to end that incorporeal, catching Lenny around the neck, and then just brings her down.
No.
And she's just holding her in this choke out, and she phases back in, basically phasing back in at this moment. It is not quite consistent, as you notice every couple of seconds she does flicker against her will, but she has a much better grasp on it, and she's basically using all of that time she has to just strike Lenny as much as she can in these rude hits. She's not even in a chokehold when she's got this grab. What she's doing is she's trying to get in the coils and stop them from being able to stretch out. And she, because she can literally go through things, has the unfortunate upper hand here.
Punchline.
And Shudder is going to just basically bludgeon Punchlight out. Knowing that Lenny has to do these wind-ups for these strikes gives Shudder plenty of time to prepare. And so Shudder kind of has the natural advantage here. Against anyone else, Lenny would probably win.
Yeah.
Because Lenny is gnarly. Punchline is gnarly. But this match ends up going to, in a really brutal display, to Shudder. Who,
Oh, fuck. I thought I was fighting someone else next.
Shit.
as Shudder, holding the unconscious Punchline, looks right at the camera and goes, "Being a hero is no joke."
And gets herself a hero point.
Yep. No. And just drops Lenny and walks away.
Tell that to blow hard.
Tell them to blow hard, yeah. Who's up next? I believe there's two more.
Curtain Rex.
Curtain Rex. This is another one I pre-rolled. So the fight starts, and you have Rex in his new attire, which is basically instead of his jacket, he's in a motorcycle jacket with subwoofers in the shoulder pads.
Yay.
He's got that same sound file on his back, and he's replaced his jeans with these chinos. And his hair is long enough that he's tied it into a ponytail. The fight starts. Kurt wins initiative, and Kurt immediately manifests headphones and puts them on his head. Then he has a shield in one arm. The only difference in Kurt's appearance, he's not in a costume, but his scarf does have metal fragments and shards scattered throughout it. And it's one of those that he picks up and makes the headphones with real quick. Creates his shield and waits. And everyone can hear it for a moment as SoundCloud begins playing music very loudly from his subwoofers before creating this pocket of silence. And you can see this the air around him begin to thrum with the music that no one can hear as he begins to theoretically stockpile the sound. And he's making his way carefully towards Kurt. Kurt goes ahead and spends his next turn closing this distance, and he assumes what looks like a defensive stance, and it's sort of here, and then he grabs from his scarf and very succinctly just pushes into the back of the shield. And the spike juts out and forward and clips a good bit. This was a moment in the fight where I rolled 3 wounds, 3 degrees of failure, as SoundCloud just gets skewered. Kind of the side of his face is grazed by this metal spike, and turn order shifts back to SoundCloud as this strikes him, and he goes to release the sound that he's been building up on his own, because why rely on other people? And if people figure out your power, you can't, they'll just be quiet, but he has to stockpile sound. And then this heavy bass riff echoes through everything, and Kurt is completely unaffected.
Noise canceling.
Noise canceling headphones to a ridiculous degree. And from that point on, the fight is pretty much over. It develops into a close range combat. And while SoundCloud has absolutely the upper hand in like a one-on-one, it's not a one-on-one. As Kurt's inventions are a thing of their own usually. And from that skewer, like you watch as these tiny metal spiders, pieces of the metal from his scarf, begin crawling like off of it and like assailing with these hyper fine, hyper sharp pointed fangs SoundCloud and eventually take him down. And Kurt picks them all back up. They crawl into that scarf and just become metal again. And he proceeds to fireman's carry SoundCloud out of there.
Man, some real punks are advancing.
And I believe there's one more.
Yes.
Yep.
The people that historically we've made fun of the most.
Oh
You go
no!
fight
Ares
Kurt.
Ares versus Jareth.
We're gonna find the bottom of the totem pole right now.
Oh, and I totally missed their thing. Grounded in reality with a gadget for every occasion, it's KDH. And on the other side, it may look like he's zoned out, but he's really just owning into the rhythm of battle. His head's up in the SoundCloud. That was their narration that I missed. And finally, we have Ares vs. Jareth. With infinite potential and ready to save the day, it's the always attractive Gauss. And challenging him today, we are met with the eyes in the sky, the legend himself. Look out for the Red Baron. It's a magnet pun.
I know, but Ren duplex.
It's a magnet
Pushing
pun.
it.
It's a magnet pun. Duplex is not hitting on students. We don't have that in my world. Midnight doesn't exist.
Yeah.
Creepy BDSM hero.
Yep.
And their fight, I have to roll out. So, real
Roll
quick,
out.
Ares, Jareth. Jareth wins initiative.
Alright.
Jareth is going to go ahead and use his extended movement abilities that he spent his last points on and close the gap in one movement action as he creates these kind of explosive magnetic bursts behind his feet. It's like watching a sprinter. Just with how fast his body's never moved this fast, and it's not his body moving this fast. It's his body plus magnetic force moving this fast. Closes the gap, goes for this haymaker just out the gates before Ares can get in the sky. Ares is gonna make a toughness check and go unconscious. As in a single action, Jareth closes the gap, rears back a fist, and all of that explosive force, the magnets just propel his fist straight on top of the Red Baron's skull. Just
Oh, Ares, you're just...
Ares didn't even get a turn.
You're just...
Wow.
You
It's consistent.
You poor thing.
Wow.
It's unfortunately consistent.
What is his toughness score?
Poor child.
He rolled a
He has
3.
bird bones.
Yep. No, that's it. That's canonically why his toughness is garbage. He has bird bones.
Well, he needs to work on that.
Drink
No.
more milk.
But he can't
He
fly.
needs better bones.
He needs like titanium feathers or something because
Then
I
he
think
can't fly.
I think every fight he's been in, he's almost gone unconscious on the first hit. I don't think flying is the worst of his concerns. I don't think his biggest concern is, how can I
I'm
fly
going
to
to
make
the
this?
bathroom.
to
Y'all
make this-
keep shit talking.
This is exactly what Rin is yelling. His biggest problem is not, how can I prolong this fight more so that I can fly in the air and, I gotta keep myself light. His biggest problem right now is, oh my god, people keep punching me in the head. Why do I not invest in a helmet?
He already has Why? He just needs to like add some kind of layer of metal, something.
Why don't I purchase, I don't know, lightweight Kevlar? It's the year 2200 and some other nonsense.
Probably have some graphite armor that's lightweight.
Exactly. He could probably have a superhero make him like hyper condensed oxygen to wear his armor.
To
Talk to
win the
Kurt.
initiative, he just needs to go first.
No, he doesn't. He's gone first and still died immediately. Anyone who can hit harder than a 3 can knock Ares out.
That was so on brand.
I am so angry at him.
I wanted that to be a better fight, but
Especially because from square one, you were like, oh, Ares is going to be the ace of the class. He's really going to throw down. Ares is going to be like the ace in the hole. Every single time we've ever seen Ares perform, unless he is calling the police, he is knocked unconscious immediately. Until his I was half expecting this fight to go, Jareth swing at him, he misses, Ares gets in the air and calls the police.
He just screams 911 very, very loudly.
Help! I need an adult! Oh, we're spending the hell out of this audio. We're having such a good time.
This is the most disappointed I've ever been in Ares specifically.
You know, Ares was ready. He had tricks up his sleeve.
I'm
and
sure.
They're still there.
Can he put armor up his sleeve?
I specifically didn't roll this fight out because I wanted this opportunity, and I got it. I
God
wanted one of them.
Damn
to
it,
just
Jareth,
ruin
I
the
was supposed
other.
to have the fastest fights.
He sent Ali the file on how to do kung fu with wings, and he just forgot all of it himself. That's it. It's the only copy. He just has none anymore.
I am livid. I have never been so mad.
That was amazing.
Entertained.
Isaac, who are you up against next?
I got Kurt.
Alright, Isaac versus Kurt. So,
Fight.
Kurt's gonna roll initiative and actually beats your score.
Holy
Wow.
shit, Kurt.
Kurt, no, he's got a pretty solid agility. It's been one of the things he's worked on since he got in.
Undoubtedly, but I mean, like, beating a 25, that's impressive.
He also has improved initiative.
Undoubtedly. He just beat a 25.
Yeah, he does not have an agility of that much. It's improved initiative plus his few agility bumps. So, the introductions for all the characters have basically been done. So it's basically variants on that. If there's anything else you'd like to say about yourself, G-Force, you're more than welcome to at the start of the match. But Kurt makes a point, just because he won initiative, he looks up to his father.
Dang.
And then he just looks back to you. It's like that monologue shared with a glance that anime characters absolutely always do, where it's like, and squares himself for battle.
And has the first turn.
Yeah, I was just seeing if G-Force had anything else they wanted to do.
As far as tell him with the look of keep your eyes on me. I'm the one you're fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so you watch as he throws that scarf up into a hood, almost like a coif, creates that shield, and then that's actually all he can do this turn, because he's not going to move any closer to you. That would be dangerous. He's going to move further away from you.
He's
I
not
like
like
it.
Yeah, he can go off.
Not like it matters.
Yeah, it's not like it matters. But he moves a little further away and has a shield and this coif thrown up. It's your action. That is the beginning of this combat.
Okay. Do these qualify as separate targets if I want to multi-attack them all? All of his hood, his shield, and him.
You don't know if the hood is a theoretical target. You can make a guess that it would be. The shield and him would be two separate targets, yes.
Okay. I would like to multi-attack his shield and him, and I will be applying...
What's the flavor on the multi-attack, just so we've got some more than just dice rolling?
Okay. It's coming in as basically flying in with punch with one, and it's actually going to be a knee with the other. So the punch will go to what obviously is going to be the shield, and then the knee is going to keep going underneath it.
For sure.
Do you mind grabbing me a tissue?
I can do that.
Applying
That's
accurate
like
attack
crying.
will push it to a +14,
That's
and
just
then
really
multi-attacking two targets will push it down to a 12 on each.
First 12. Plus 12?
Unarmed.
Okay, so it's doing no damage.
It's doing -1 damage.
Okay.
Actually, -3 because of accurate attacking.
Okay.
So a damage rank of 12.
Yep.
Yep. Okay.
Toughness check
This
is 12.
does not possess the capability to incapacitate someone.
Nope, but if the shield is easily removable device, a grab
Then this
will.
could theoretically, yeah.
That's true.
So, first one's going to be to the shield, and it is a 23.
I mean, it hits for sure.
Okay. And multi-attack doesn't apply because these are multi-attacks. So, toughness check of 12. It passes.
It rolled a 2. It fails.
It fails.
The shield takes damage.
The shield shatters.
Okay. Then,
Oh.
since that's no longer a grab, it is a 28 to hit Kurt.
That hits.
God, I hope it does.
Multi-attack does not queue up.
Jesus.
But Kurt will succeed on that toughness check.
Okay. Grab is 20.
He is grabbed 1 degree.
1 degree. And the shield is gone, so I'm not gonna spend that yet.
Yeah, it's this. It's currently, because this is all happening at once. It's this like shattered, fragmented cloud of metal almost. It hasn't fallen yet because we're in quick time or bullet time.
1 degree of success. He needs to make a fort save, DC 15.
He fails on that by 2 degrees.
He's impaired because it's only 1 level.
Okay,
And
so minus
now-
200 checks.
Move object queues up,
Mm-hmm.
and it is a 19 versus a strength.
Nat 20.
Holy.
And that's an always a success, even though it gets reduced by 2.
It gets reduced by 2, and his strength score is... Where'd you go, Kurt? I have so many of these right now. Don't need you. Don't need you. Because of that, minus 2, he fails. Because nat 20s are only a guaranteed success on attacks.
Okay.
So he fails by 1.
I'm going
Yikes.
to drag him out of the cloud of
The metal that was...
that was his stuff. And how high can I get before the ceiling?
So as you're dragging him, he does have reaction-based power when his shield shatters.
Okay.
So he's going to reform it into that chain sword we've seen a lot. But that's all he's going to be able to do is reform it. And you have... What's your speed rank total?
Total, as far as if it's 120 feet, I can only go basically...
It's 150 because he ran 30 away at the start.
Okay, 150. Does someone have the distances? Wait, no. That would be 4 seconds to get there. Sorry, I have it here. So I
Yep,
can only
'cause
go
you've
2
got formulas
seconds.
for movement.
Yeah. And I can only, with the meta modifiers to what gravity works, justify rank 2. So he would take a rank 8 damage effect from fall damage unless he knows acrobatics.
He does not.
Okay,
so
so
he's going to
DC
make a toughness
23.
check. Yeah. Kurt's out. As you proceed to grab him and not give him a chance, you drop Kurt, and he rolls a nat 1. Like that. It's there.
Yep, I see it.
Nat
I
1 on
see
his
it.
toughness. Ouch. As Kurt doesn't even get an opportunity to do too much. And from the stands, you just see his father shake his head.
Oh.
Do you think you would have done better?
Ooh.
I told him not to take his eyes off me.
And that fight ends.
Damn, I love that Dax like, I can only get him 80 feet straight up. Only damage rank 8. Oh, all his bones.
Oh no, his bones.
Every single one of them.
Yeah.
Gone.
He's Cookie.
It's Cookie.
I want Cookie.
From a
Peanut butter cookie. Even better. All right.
purchased from sweet little feminine scouting groups that sell them once a year. Voiding
And I
brands.
believe up next we have Allie versus
Jareth.
Jareth.
Which
Story implications.
I'm gonna say I'm happier that that's the fight rather than Allie versus Ares.
I mean, there were supposed to be a couple story beats in that cart fight, but it ended. There weren't time for story beats.
Oh.
Kirk got exactly 1.
Kurt got the one monologue of "Watch me, I'm gonna do."
Yep.
Goddamn nothing.
So you and Jareth go ahead and enter the ring. Or I'm sorry, Angel and Gauss enter the ring. It has been repaired from all of the craters that have been dropped in it.
The Kurt-sized crater.
And he simply cracks his knuckles and clenches his fist, and you see this like magnetic cloud form a fist next to him. You win the initiative, though.
All I can think of is this poor mother who's gonna watch her son get beaten with blood the same way her husband died. Anyway.
That is the worst sentence I have ever heard. Where's the mesmerist? Someone get him in here.
It's okay. Moving past the guilt.
Into the shame hole.
I'm just going to go up and take aim.
Yep.
And I'm going to sit at
let's start.
the same 120 feet
Cool.
and hope that that's like... Because I know he'll probably try to rip me out of the air, but I will try and start there. I will do my best to start there.
He doesn't try and rip you out of the air. He comes up to you.
That's so cool!
Same way he leapt across the battlefield.
Nice!
Magna boots.
And same as with the last fight, I'm using my favorite environment to my defenses.
Yeah, I assumed as much.
I just saying it again.
Yeah.
He's gonna come up to you, and he just puts his arms on either side of you, and instead of trying to grab you, Magnet grips his arms around you. This is me reflavoring a grab.
Uh-huh. I'm gonna use dodge as
He has
the
to hit you
resist.
first.
Yeah, if he hits me.
Dodge. Yeah.
Jareth.
Ooh,
Oh!
it's a nat 19.
Nat 20.
Oh!
He grabs you.
He's
Yeah, he
been
does.
practicing.
God!
He's gonna primary lotus your ass.
Well, what's gonna happen is he's in the air and has no way to stay up here. You're both falling.
Yep.
Yeah, because I don't have the physical strength to hold
So
on
120
to him.
feet is rank 2. Double that nat 4, right?
Mm-hmm.
DC 18 toughness.
Oh.
Do you have acrobatics?
I'm sorry, toughness is 15 plus, right?
Yes.
Yes.
So DC 23.
23.
I am quite
20.
possibly gone.
Jareth!
Jareth,
Yes.
I'm gonna spend to just try and stay conscious.
You would stay conscious on that, but only just.
I'm going to just try and stay conscious.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you're
I
much
stay
more
conscious.
conscious. You are significantly
Thank goodness,
more
I am
conscious.
much more conscious.
That's a
That's a
one.
dirty
You still,
20.
you do still
Dirty
suffer a
20.
wound, though.
Okay, yes, but that's better than being like
As he
flattened.
proceeds
That's better
to
than a
grab
10.
you, and you fall to the ground, and he uses you to absorb the weight, and he's just and he goes, "Hey, it's your action. You are currently grabbed."
You just rock lead your ass.
He did.
Yeah.
But with magnets.
It's so cool. Jareth, yes.
All you had to do was tell him that he was going to be a failure. Look at how much he's grown. Reverse psychology.
And just so like the visual, he's got his arms magnet locked around you. You can still slip out of it with a good enough roll. It's just a grab. It's just me reflavoring it. But that magnetic fist is poised to pummel you while he's got you gripped.
Oh my
God.
god.
I'm trying to like guess what his toughness would be. Because I know what I want.
My guess is it's somewhere between 0 and 12.
Shut the fuck up.
Because we got no clues from the fall.
About grab rolls, you can attempt to escape with a move action. It would be a acrobatics or athletics check to do so. And then if you do escape, you can move away from him at your movement rank -1.
I don't have a lot of those. Because the first thing that came to mind was to cough blood in his face and call it a blast. Yes! But like, I don't know what his toughness is and if that's DC's gonna work.
Blast
But we're
him in
gonna
the
try
head.
that.
Fuck
We're
him.
doing this at a +17 because I took goddamn aim.
Yeah, you did.
I don't have a point.
I do!
Either.
Yeah, we don't nat 1 on that. Now when you have a
Nuh-uh,
plus
that's so
17,
cool.
29 to hit hits.
It's a DC 20 toughness.
He's gonna go ahead and be. He's gonna suffer a wound from that as you
Thank goodness.
spit vile blood in his face.
You shotgun him with your own blood. That's awesome.
I took damage. It's probably internal.
No, everything is absolutely valid for it to be internal.
Yeah.
You just fell 120 feet with him on top of you.
A
Just
little bit.
Yeah.
And so yes, I coughed blood in
Thwomp
his
noises.
face.
Thwomp noises.
If not for your training with Rin, you never would have been able to do this.
She's yelling
Would
from
you-
the crowd.
would you-
Remember your training.
Remember how I pile drived you so many times?
Would you like to try and Would you like to try and use your move action to escape the
I
grab?
would, and if
not?
it's an acrobatics roll, then I'll use that
Mm-hmm.
because
Do you have points in it? You have to
Yes.
have points in acrobatics to
I
use
do.
it.
Athletics as well?
No. Athletics can be used in
I
training.
have 2 points in acrobatics.
No, 'cause that's your
not it.
ability modifier.
God damn it.
You have no ranks in
Dang.
acrobatics.
Ooh,
All right.
Okay, then just
That-
straight up athletics.
Yep.
So that's a +1. Oh, though.
18 and get
It's
out.
not a. He doesn't roll.
Not 20.
Oh,
He does not roll.
he's
He does
doing
not
so.
roll. He does not
Yeah.
roll. It is a routine check based on his grab rank.
His grab rank, which in this case uses his strength, and you rolled a what?
18.
18 breaks through the grab, so you move away at
Half your move.
half your move speed.
So I'm at a quarter because I was fatigued.
Okay, so what's a quarter of your move speed? How far away do you get?
Is she allowed to fly? Is the real
Yeah.
question.
It would be rank like 1 point something because I have a flight rank of 5.
Flight rank of 5 would then turn to flight rank of 4, which would then turn to flight rank of 3.
Yep.
So you go 120 feet.
Yep.
Sweet. That's exactly my range. I love it.
You are bonkers fast.
Yes.
I
Yep.
get out.
Yep. And 120 is his movement.
And he's gonna go grab and give me a hug again.
So first he has to unclench his arms, which is his standard.
Oh my god.
Yeah, because that was his standard to magnetize himself. When he went for the grab. So he unclenches his arms, and then he is going to just shoot you a quick wink and throw the welder's mask down.
I'm nervous.
I'm concerned.
I'm filled with so much fear for you.
Fucking concerned.
I'm filled with so much fear for you.
So much fear.
These are yours right now. I'm
I'm-
gonna give you these.
I'm here for this.
You need these.
These are yours right now. My dad's here. I can milk as many as I need.
For his move action, he's gonna go ahead and 120 feet away.
You bitch.
And it's absolutely not even like him running backwards. It's just one big as he skids backwards 120 feet.
Cute.
I'm going to roll to see if it hits, and then it's not like a move. No, it would be a move by.
Also, defense or offense right now. You're in the air. Defense or offense.
Still defense.
Yeah,
Still,
it's
still,
defense. Still
It changed
Still
because she
defense.
hit the ground.
You right.
Thank you.
You're right.
Thank you for doing the check. Still on defense, because that boy can fucking hit.
Yeah.
Because I want to flavor it as, and I don't know if it would count because it
Tell me the
might
flavor
count
first,
as,
and I'll tell you what the mechanics are behind it.
I want to go zipping past him and pull the blood out of him in his string and end like if I'm starting at the 120 feet here, I'm gonna go zinging across and like just catch the blood as I go past, but that's technically like a move by.
He's 120 feet away from you too. When you flew 120 feet away from him,
And he moved.
he ran.
So he's
120
240
He's
feet
240 feet away from you.
which is your whole speed.
So you could get up to him. You could get 120 feet away and use your ability.
Then that's what I'm going to
So
do.
that's like absolutely flavor that ability, but you're not going to move by because he's too far away.
I was gonna say I didn't think. And we're just gonna try for a weaken. Grapple is part of the strength thing. Yes, I would know this much at least.
He's a muscly boy.
Cool. I'd like to try and reduce his strength.
roll
I'm
hit
going
first.
to move closer and then see if it does the thing. 12 plus 7 gets me to
19 hits his dodge.
Thank goodness. It's a 15 DC fort.
He's going to fail by fort. He's going to fail by 2.
Then he loses 2 points of
Yep.
strength.
Hey, we take those.
Nice. Nice.
And since it's a subtle movement, it's just Allie like wiping the blood off of her face.
And as you wipe the blood off of your face, like you see just a little bit from under his mask, just
So
Yep. And so you're 120 feet away.
and he's gonna hit me.
He's here for a good show. More than anything else. He didn't get a good show last round.
No,
This is
he
no,
was
he didn't. He's
dominated.
So he reaches out. And he's gonna move object. I upped the rank 1, so he's going to pull
dance
you
with me, my pretty.
60 feet forward.
That you would. Are you?
That would put you within 60 feet.
Yes, but I thought move object you're allowed to like roll a strength to oppose.
There should be a
To
resist.
resist?
Okay. Roll it.
I don't know if it's gonna do any good,
No.
but I want to try.
As far as I'm
Yeah,
aware, move
no,
object
that's
is the one
only
that
a
does
7.
not.
So no,
Because I thought it didn't.
Move object is the one ability that does not get a saving throw unless you explicitly build a saving throw into
Because
it.
move object is not a damaging effect in the
Move
slightest.
object can do nothing
Unless-
other than put you in a new spot.
Unless, in my case, I specifically have it as damaging. In
Yes.
one
Because
case.
your vacuum specifically has no resist check there.
Look at that.
No, I've looked at this several times. Move object specifically doesn't get any kind of saving throw because it's not by any definition an attack.
Okay, thank you. Never mind. Moving on.
Move object is a person is an object and you say that object is now there.
Because then I should be getting this for free, but I have a saving, like a
Then
resistance.
that should be a flaw and you should get power points for that. If you don't want the resistance throw, then you don't need it there because it's a move object.
We've been doing it as when we built your power. This is something we can handle later.
Yeah.
It's something we can handle later. Because Isaac's build is a lot.
I don't know what you mean. He just pile drived a guy into the ground on the first round of combat and obliterated every bone in his body.
So, because he wants to make a good impression, his first standard is to vacuum you 60 feet. He extra efforts to do it again, and then he extra efforts to strike you. So he pulls you, and goes around to this lariat into an axe kick.
If he's doing the show, I want to let him and twirl. No, not let him.
Oh, gosh.
Like, as he's pulling, I just want to, twirl and let the wings show off to corkscrew down to, because he's pulling me anyway and I can't resist, so I may as well be pretty.
Make a toughness check.
Ow. Oh. And I'm doing this at a -1 because I already have a wound.
It's pretty tough.
18.
Your beauty.
You have no bonuses.
Whoa.
No. Hold on. Let's back it up.
Hold on.
19 plus 3 minus 1 gets me to a
Plus
20.
2. You're in the air.
21.
21? Suffer a wound.
Oh!
As he...
Or, well, no, does it go up? Does my plus 2 to defense account for toughness or
It's
just
every
my
single one
parry?
of these.
It's all of those?
Yes.
Yeah.
Really?
Then
Anytime you
it's-
roll one of these...
it's the
no, it's
19
just all of those.
Then it's the 19 plus 4 because I'm at
Yeah.
a toughness -1.
So 20,
22.
30.
23.
Still suffer a wound.
Okay.
Damn, Jareth.
Now I know where
Yep.
all my numbers are. Thank you.
Punches like a goddamn
That was
truck.
a kick.
Uh-huh.
Kicks like a truck.
You messed up my halo!
And basically, where you're at, he still has this axe kick foot on the back of your neck. But that's his whole turn.
That was plenty turn.
Yeah. No, and he is now...
He's exhausted.
He's exhausted. Yes. Impaired and hindered. So -2 to everything half speed.
And the weakened strength, was that applied to the damage, right?
Oh my god, Jareth!
Yeah, no, he's a fucking
That was an all-out power
monster.
attack.
He is a mountain!
That was all a power attack.
Dang.
He rolled a 19 on a power attack at a -4, and her parry is not good enough.
No, my parry's not great.
No,
That's
he beat her parry by 1 on a power attack of 4. So yeah, that's why it was gnarly.
Big hurt.
He wanted to make a show. So it's your action.
I'm gonna try for an affliction here.
Absolutely.
His foot's on my neck. And we'll flavor this in a minute, but I am going to use the range because, again, it's...
For sure. Yeah, absolutely. You're fine. Yeah.
Yeah, use your training!
Yeah.
So 19
19.
plus
19 plus the 7...
26. That's it.
26. Okay, it's a DC 15.
He rolled a 16.
Damn it!
What is it? Is it a toughness check?
No,
It's a fortitude check.
Fortitude? Then he's fine. Yeah.
Oh.
Did he apply his exhaustion?
Yep.
God damn, Jareth is a truck.
So you, like...
He's
she
like Optimus
grabs
Prime.
onto it. She grabs onto his leg, and you can see his veins move, but nothing comes out.
And any move action?
What
When you want to stay in this?
I'd like to get away if
And
that's a
then
thing.
get
Then
away.
yes, I'd like to go up. I'm going to, because since I saw him put out all that effort, try to get to the 120 again.
Yeah, you get to the 120.
Because I want to make him work to bring me closer.
Oh no, he's not going to. As it goes back to his turn, he's like, my body doesn't matter. And he launches that magnetic fist at you. The one that was hovering next to him.
Oh.
Just...
He's gonna Iron Man you.
So that's versus your dodge, not your parry. Because it's a projectile.
Which your dodge is better.
What is
It
your...
is. At the moment, because I have the +2, because, again, I'm in the air, it's to defense, so it's a 17.
17, and he's at a... Because of his impairment, he misses. As it grazes you, and you can feel as these, like, fine metal particles move past, like they're serrated. So, and he's like, shit.
Jareth is trying to prison shank you.
With a fist.
Oh my god.
It's your action. As the fist, basically, it keeps going, because he launched it. It's not like he's manipulating the metal. He launched the
it.
metal. Yeah.
Aren't magnets fun, kids?
Yep.
I'm going to try for a blast and then hope that that it works till I can flavor it a particular way. Ooh.
Use your training, Padawan!
Okay, fine.
This friendship is pure.
That's a
17.
17. It's
17
enough.
plus the 7. Okay. It's a DC 20.
He is a 1 wound. He's gonna go ahead and suffer another wound.
Okay, because the flavors that... Oh no, but I don't want to give him back the glove.
Yeah, don't.
I was gonna say, I grabbed the blood and I hit him with it. No.
Grab the blood, he just right it out of your cheek, yo.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just
Absolutely.
hand to face, pull it out, and the same sort of blood whip flavor she's been doing, just across his face, same cheek that he hit her on.
Yeah, so it definitely, like, gets under his welder's mask and, like, pulls out that way. And it lifts the mask back up off his head, and you can see these, like, 3 cuts identical to the ones from the knuckles that struck your face.
Can I flavor the hero points?
Yeah.
As Rin is just basically pressed against the dome, and she's shouting dates of when she trained Allie in Japan for these specific circumstances.
Very niche.
As Allie is like dodging away, she's like, June 27th when you dodged away from me.
It's the snack we were having at the time. It's the pastry
Oh my
we were
god,
having.
it so is. It 100%
It's
is.
the
Like
specific
Boston cream
pastry.
pie, Boston cream pie.
Chocolate croissant,
Apple pie his ass!
It's gonna go to his turn. He's got a single action every round at this point because he pushed himself to try and take you out with that.
He's dazed?
No,
He just exhausted
he's
himself to
impaired and
his
hindered.
freaking
So
limits.
he doesn't only have 1 action, but he's struggling.
Yeah.
Because he can standard to vacuum for 60, or he can move for 60. She's 120 away.
Roll an athletics check, nerd.
It's not an athletics-based movement. It's not a run. It
Sucks to suck, Jareth.
It's an alternate movement. Yeah. So,
I want to suggest things to him, but I don't want him to win, so I'm not going to.
well, he's got a lot he could do. He's gonna take his mask off.
That's literally what I was thinking.
He takes the mask off.
He's gonna charm her.
And he's gonna
Throw the mask at
basically
me.
treat the mask as the fist before. And lob that at you.
Okay, and yeah, it's 17 still.
He doesn't hit your dodge. As this mask goes hurtling, like you kind of bullet time it as you bend back in this 3D space. And
Toaster strudel! It was a rough day!
and he's just like,
There were no groceries.
shit. And it's your action as he's staying in this pose. Like, it's clearly a struggle for him to maintain his body weight right now because he drained himself in the last turn.
I'm gonna drain him further. I'm gonna go for affliction.
Hell yeah.
11 and 7. 18.
Versus his dodge.
Yes.
That's it.
DC 15. Fort.
That's a success on his part.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He really wants
It's the
his blood.
same blood boil effect, but it doesn't make it.
I'm even gonna say it gets out of him, and he's like holding on to it, like it's suspended
Yes!
as he's got the iron in the blood. Just
Good.
he's like, you want it? And he's just his turn. He's gonna grab it.
Allie just looks so delighted that he can do this now. Just so happy.
And he's gonna hold an action. And it's your turn as you feel the pressure on this like stream of blood kind of release. Like he said, you want it? So he's holding this blood that you still have a little bit of manipulation on.
I'm worried he's going to slingshot it the fuck at my face.
I think I know exactly what he's planning, and I want you to do it, but I don't at the same time. Would you like a coin to flip?
No, because I can see vaguely what he's trying to do, and I would rather not get hit. Because I'm only 1 wound away from fuckery.
I mean, we're all...
We're all 1 wound from
We're all
fuckery.
We're all a nat 1 away.
I'm gonna try for another weaken. This time, stamina.
Okay. You gotta roll the hit. As you don't take the bait.
5 and 7. That's not gonna get me
12's
there.
not gonna hit his dodge.
So instead, I just let go
Yeah.
of it. Because I was gonna try and force it back into the
He was
target.
gonna Mary Poppins your ass!
Yeah, he was. As you let go of it and it stays suspended in the air, he goes, shit. And then he lets go of the magnetic grip on the iron and the blood, and it falls.
Jared, throw your blood, you idiot!
Shit.
Rin now just fed up.
As it's on the floor, he's just like, okay.
He's just gonna take clothing.
No.
Start throwing
No,
stuff.
as this like kind of reaches into his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is gonna suck. And he spends a turn basically building this up.
I hate everything that's happening right now.
So
See
worried.
your action.
I'm so worried. We're gonna try a blast.
Mm-hmm.
Good blast.
That better hit him.
That's
Yeah,
a 26. It had better hit.
Yeah.
Okay, DC 20 toughness. Did he roll that 20 again?
He rolled a 16. He's
Oh.
at the -2 from this, which brings it to a 14. But toughness is based on stamina, not strength. So it goes up to a 21.
Damn it!
Has he taken 2 wounds though?
Yes, this is toughness. So he does take 1 wound from this.
Because what it is Allie's looking and she pushes the puddle of blood back up in his face.
She's like, don't drop your blood when I'm fighting you.
Just flings it back at him.
Rin's like, I don't have a snack for that one. I don't. That
And
was solid.
like it gets his messy
was
tuft
all
of hair
you.
and just slicks it back again. So there's this like line of blood on his face. He's like,
Now we can see your pretty eyes.
What's happening? Rin now just like turns to Robin and is like, are they?
I don't know.
Ares
I asked.
defeated by Jareth in 1 round from the stand somewhere. He's like, and you're like, no, I can see your pretty eyes. Just, oh.
Are they an item?
And Jareth is just like,
He said
well,
no.
this is gonna suck. And he's gonna push into his chest, and you watch as he ragdolls himself at you. This is a slam attack, and he is taking the damage he deals here if he hits you too.
Yeah. Because that's how it normally works.
Yep.
Okay.
What's your parry right now?
Better than what I thought.
My parry
Tears
is
hard
at
out
a
something.
5 because of my favorite environment.
Kali moms.
5. He does not hit you, so he's going to proceed to fall.
Oh, Jareth, you sweet, beautiful idiot.
120 feet coming down, so 2 doubled 4, 18, 23. And he just collapses into the ground, and just as he like bludgeons his body against the stadium, knocking himself unconscious, like he sees that elephant and he's just like, come here. And like pulls it in, and it grabs the visor and just puts it down over his face before he just
Takes a nap.
takes a nap as Angel defeats Gauss.
Lands next to him. You have a sort of an attraction.
And he just mumbles, okay.
Rin now 100% like, are they trying to date?
I don't
I was trying to make a magnet pun and it didn't work.
Rin is not following the magnet puns. She's like, what is Jareth a heartthrob? I'm confused.
And then we've got Robin.
Now that I've spent all of Ray's points.
Robin
I don't mind.
versus
I don't
Ryan
need
would be next.
Robin. Gravitas versus Forget Me Not. How we doing, guys?
I'm loving this so much.
I am having a blast. I do work in the morning.
What time?
Let me double check. I hope.
because it's currently 10.
Because we can put a pause on this and finish it next week.
Yeah.
It would make the most sense to do it now because in theory
This is the exact halfway point.
Yeah.
Yep. So, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and make that executive call.
Cool.
Because even if we kept going, we wouldn't be able to finish tonight. And this is a great place to finish. So, thank you to anyone who tuned into this shonen arc. I hope that the visuals we are providing are satisfying your imagination and all of those taste buds up in your brain. Thank you for tuning in. This is FlavorText. We'll be back next week to properly conclude this tournament. And welcome to our table.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.